Hey, welcome back. And I'm not going to give you all the welcomes because this is not the regular Mr. Know-It-All podcast.
No, it is not.
We are here. We are back once again with
Yay.
another couple. And we have now named the podcast. It is called Till Death Do Us.
Till Death Do Us.
Yes.
Courtesy of moi, because
Yes.
I have all the bright ideas.
Yes, you did.
I am the brains
Yes,
of
yes,
the
you did, babe.
operation.
Yeah.
And the looks.
Well, yeah, you know. I'm kind of cute, though, on these streets, though. Listen.
I mean,
Listen. You know.
you have your days.
Oh, as you hear to my right is my lovely wife, brand new mixologist,
I'm still working on this.
Mrs. Know-It-All,
I know, I'm still working
aka.
on that.
All right, so I'm gonna give you the AKAs. Mrs. Know-It-All, aka Shay Voorhees, aka Shay Breezes.
Now you messing it up.
All right, Shay
I'll
Breezes.
stay with Mrs. Know-It-All.
Just Mrs. Know-It-All for right
Oh,
now.
yeah.
All right, this Shay, that's her, Shannon Shay. Who, you know, if you listen to
Shay,
regular podcasts, you know it. And to my left. Oh yeah, I'm Mrs. I'm not Mrs. Know-It-All. I'm Mr. Know-It-All.
Hey,
I'm
you
Mr.
listen,
Know-It-All.
We'll have to talk about that if you want to be Mrs. Know-It-All.
I'm Mr. Know-It-All, aka Keith Saunders, BKA Michael Voorhees, and aka Haiku if you want to be rapper about it. Blah blah blah. Ain't gotta spit hot fire. Die-line. We ain't gotta do all that today. That episode was yesterday. But to my left, we have.
The beautiful Charlene.
You gotta speak into the mic. You gotta speak into the mic,
Oh,
Charlene.
the beautiful Charlene Chappell.
Uh-huh.
Better known as
Sophisticated,
Miss Diva.
graceful.
Oh, okay. And to her left,
Mel Chappell, a.k.a. the Black Mac.
the black back.
The black
Black
man.
Mac.
You still got that? You still got that Mustang?
You already know.
Oh man,
The black man.
Mel is
Mustang
so
life.
Mel is so cool. It's what year is it?
91.
Got a
5.0.
91 5.0 Mustang, sitting
Classic.
pretty. That it runs. It runs really well. Like
Yes.
So I want to know whose grandma's garage that was kept in for the past 30 years.
Right.
Like
Right.
somebody had it to where they
Right.
was keeping it up and upkeeping it.
Right.
But yeah, we're here to talk love, life, relationships, and all that good shit with the Chappells.
Oh,
Matter of
shit.
fact, give it up for them, man. I mean, where's my clapping?
Yay.
Give it up for the Chappells. Give it up for the Chappells. So we're giving it up for the Chappells, but let me go ahead and give a shout out to my peoples, the Spotify listeners, the Apple Podcast listeners, the Google Podcast listeners, the Stitcher listeners, the SoundCloud listeners, the Anchor listeners, home team, the YouTube, and the Patreon viewers. Get with us on the IG page at Mr. _Know-It-All_pod, the Facebook fan page, the Mr. Know-It-All podcast fan page, and please send us all your fuckery, duckery, and schmuckery over to the Gmail account at Mr. Know-It-All_pod@gmail.com. That's Mr. Know-It-All_pod@gmail.com. All right, Chappells.
Hello.
Yeah, one of my
What's the
favorite
deal?
couples. What's
Thanks
going
for
on?
having us.
How's y'all week been? I'm gonna let y'all express yourselves for a second. How's your week going? I mean, it's only Monday.
I
but
know it's only Monday.
Yeah, you
but
know.
You want to know how last week went?
I know how
Sure.
last night went.
Oh yeah, I'm tired.
Lit.
I'm
It was.
so
Had us
tired.
dancing there like it was 2001 up in that joint.
Yeah, that was
Should've
crazy.
won that battle.
Huh?
Hey, there was a
She
bunch of
should've won
battles
that
I
battle.
wasn't getting up on the main stage. I had
Yeah,
to stay
yeah.
where I was at.
That stage
There was too
lit.
much going on the main
It was
stage.
a whole lot
Thank
happening.
God it was
Yes.
concrete, because that joint would have been
It was a whole lot happening. If it was a wood
was a
deck, it would have been a
whole lot.
problem.
Yeah, it
Yes,
was a
yes,
whole
yes,
lot,
yes.
whole lot of shaking
When
going on.
young
They had a
girls.
party.
And Keith, Shannon submitted real early, boy.
One
This
hand on
boy.
neck, one hand on frontal.
Oh, my
I don't know
God.
what
She's
happened,
wild.
Shay.
Y'all
The
was
DJ
wild.
You
was
let us
lit.
down.
Hey, I wasn't on the main stage. I was giving private dances. I was not on the main stage.
It wasn't very private in the middle of the party, though.
It
Everybody
wasn't the
looking
middle. It was over the adult section by the bar where we normally stay.
over the
No,
adult
she said
section.
that-
In the adult section,
boy
yes.
had
I mean,
the-
these people were over 21, of course. But
Right,
I say
right,
adults
right.
because we're people of a certain age. You probably should even been at the party.
You got
But
that
we
right.
Yeah,
Because
well,
the
you know.
Chappells throw the best parties in their backyard
Yes,
in an
we do.
undisclosed
Yes, we
location.
do.
If you know, you know.
Charmel's Hideaway.
Or Mel's Hideaway.
Shit, me and Mel was talking last night. He was talking about, hey, look, so we might have to charge per head, $50 per head. Get
Right.
Get the mobile bartender service over there to help out. For real. Get the DJ in there, make some food.
Right.
$50 a head,
The
charge for the food.
I was tasting Keith's food. Whoever the caterer was yesterday, that food was really good.
It was one of the young boys out there. He,
Yeah,
he
for
did
real?
It
his
was one
thing.
of the girls that had the party. It was her.
It wasn't
Her friend.
the one that
That's
had
what I say, it was her friend.
not the one that had 4 boyfriends that showed up.
No,
Yeah.
not that.
Oh,
one.
okay.
Not
All right,
that.
all right.
one. Not that.
Yeah.
Messing up this young lady's plate.
Listen,
She got
listen.
bills.
It wasn't no play. They was coming up to her like, damn, like, oh,
She
so you got.
said if they ain't got no money, they can't play. That's what she said to me. Okay, sis.
You know what I like? The big boy was winning. That's what I like.
Big
The
boy
big
was
boy was
definitely
winning. He was winning the whole. You could tell she wasn't concerned about no. The other boy had a Balenciaga shirt on. She was like, "Oh well, so nigga, you stand off to the side. This nigga got all my attention right now. I can appreciate that. But that was lit. You'd have to be there to know something about it. Matter of fact, give me a goddamn ear horn on
You
that.
got to get better with these sound
Don't
effects.
do that. Don't see what I'm saying. It comes in when it's supposed to come in. I conduct this. I'm like one of them conductors at the
We need a producer.
really. If you could find me one, that would be great. Check this out. Chappells.
Yes.
Tell us something about yourselves. First and foremost, we're gonna start from the beginning. Long time ago days.
How long have y'all been together? How long have y'all been married?
Um,
Speaking to the mic, Charlene.
I want to say about 30 years. It has to be about 30 now.
Y'all been together for
30 years
30 years.
together.
30 years. It has to be about 30 years.
I know I was
now.
like about 29 years old. Could have still made it in NFL, but met her. She messed my life up.
Oh my
Oh,
damn!
really?
That needs a bomb drop
Really?
because we didn't expect
That
that.
was a bomb drop.
We are
29 years old. Still
you
Nah,
see
trying to
where
make
listen
he
to
it
that.
in
Niggas
NFL.
bring
But
it back.
just see where he at.
Your NFL career is about half over.
Yeah, I know. It's at
Shit, we only
29.
one quarter on that, right?
I'm like, where was you auditioning? Who?
I'll put it like this.
practice
I was
squad
still
was you on?
fast. I was still fast and in shape at 29.
But you see where he at,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to comment
Yes.
on that, Charlene. That-
Yes. With
And
the
I'm
diva.
52 now, so how many years was that?
About 30.
About 30.
Yeah, about 30. It's been about 30, and we've been married 12 last week.
Congratulations. Yeah, congratulations. Oh, no, I saw it was wrong. That was the wrong one. That was the wrong one. That was the wrong sound effect.
What sound effect was it?
It was finish him.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
It was the wrong
Wow.
sound effect. I apologize.
12 years, yay, finish him.
him.
What? I don't have on earphones, people. And I'm mad I'm going to have to step away in about 8 minutes.
Yeah, I know.
Or not unless I bring my computer over here. I could probably say.
Till you gonna be able to talk and type at the
I
same
don't
time.
gotta type. Yeah, I could.
You gonna be having to have a conversation with somebody.
I sure am. I'm gonna be right at work, right on this podcast.
Oh yeah, you're not on camera either, so you know what I'm
Exactly,
saying. It's not
multitasking.
incriminating. So, 12 years
Yes.
married, 30.
Together.
Let's get a little deep then. Let's get a little deep then. Let's talk about the gap in time.
What? With the marriage?
Yes.
We was never getting married.
Why?
Ever.
Why?
Right, we
I
both said we
never-
was gonna get married.
Never
Wow.
wanted to be married.
Yeah.
Ever.
Well,
Why
talk
not?
Yeah, talk about that.
Even
Tell us.
as a little girl, I never. That wasn't like, you know how girls, that's one of the things that they think they need now. Mm-mm. And then I think as I got older and I was hurt. I was damaged. I feel like I was a little bit damaged.
But aren't
by
we
her.
all though? Like,
Yeah, but everybody handles it different.
right.
So I felt like, no, if I give him my heart,
He
gonna break it.
Yeah, but
No.
that's so
do
y'all.
I
can
was
ask
trying
a
to
question?
protect.
So do you? I guess in my brain, what is different than you living with the person and making a like? Why did you think if you were living with him, your heart couldn't be broken, but if you got married to him, then it
That's
could
a-
be?
That's a commitment.
Pull the mic up, son. Pull the mic
Sorry,
up.
that
Basically
being
said she could
married,
bounce
I could
anytime.
bounce when I want to if I'm not married.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But now I'm in a commitment. I made a commitment to God, so it's different for me.
Really.
Yes, it's a difference for me.
Never thought about it like that. That seems.
And even if it's not for God, it's for me and him. We made a commitment to each other.
Okay, so Mel, you said you felt the same way. So what made you take that
Oh man,
take that leap?
I just never thought about marrying somebody. I probably thought I was gonna be single all my life, and I ain't wanted it. I put it like this. I was a player. You know what I'm saying?
Ah, okay.
And
Playing
I
what?
just wanted to live that single life for a long time, bachelor pad and everything. When I met her, I had my own spot up in Germantown.
Right.
You know what I mean? I was like looking for
No
commitment,
kids, and
no kids and nothing.
Yeah, so
29.
right.
You know what I mean?
So it was just okay. So y'all took that there.
Had a good job working for SEPTA. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So when y'all did that, so there has to be some sort of situation that makes you come to this realization. What is that? If it's totally up to you. How you want to disclose it, what you want to say about it. But you know what I mean. I think that it's it's a big deal because some people don't really know what that's about. You know what I mean? What certain things are like in order to feel a certain way about somebody. And then all of a sudden it's like we got the boundaries that we put into place for ourselves. Like we here with it, but you know what I'm saying? We've changed our mind because of this, or we're doing something different now because of this. So walk me through that. Like tell me exactly what it, you know what I mean? What made y'all be like, you know what? We wasn't getting married, but maybe we should now.
But for me, it was when he was kidnapped and robbed.
What?
Yes.
All right. Hold on.
Let me go back before
yeah,
that.
Yeah,
Before that.
We can't just breeze
Before
by
that,
that. We gotta, I mean, we
before
gotta
that, I had an aunt that was never married,
right,
and she
Was in a relationship.
she was in a relationship with a man. I called him uncle. Like I was a little girl and she was with him.
right.
And when he got older, he got sick, and they had moved to Florida, and there was nothing that she could do for him, and she had gave him
Legally.
her all legally. She had to, if anything wanted to be done, his children were in New Jersey. She would have to call in New Jersey, get the doctors to approve, get the family to approve what needed to be done.
Right.
And she was with this man for all these years.
And because and
she couldn't do nothing
because they weren't legally
because
married.
they wasn't legally married. And then when he got sick like
And
that,
that was
she
the
used to
main
come.
reason that she wanted to marry me. She didn't
No,
love me. She
no,
she just wanted
that's
to
not
marry me
true.
because
That's not true.
She wanted,
That's not true.
She wanted
That's
to make
not
decisions
true.
and shit that.
No,
To pull the
if I've
cord.
been with you, I should be able to make the decisions.
Yo,
I should be able to make the decisions if I've been with you forever.
No.
She said that was one of the reasons why she married me. I
If
said,
I'm
well,
sleeping
damn.
with you, I need to make the decisions. If you're getting the goodies, I need to make
Now
the decisions.
what about now? Where was they? You said they was living. Where was
My
that from?
aunt they were from Jersey, but they moved to Florida. When
They moved to Florida,
there,
and
when
there's
they
no
moved there.
like common law after a certain amount of time, whatnot that kicks in when it comes to that.
A lot of states is weird
So,
with the common law.
and by
thing,
me
so you
working in
gotta
a
really
hospital, I
know.
see it all the time. Like, you could be with
They're
this
going
man
after
forever.
DMX's widow right now.
Yeah.
DMX's last baby's mom.
Yes.
Yeah, she's trying
She
to.
can't. Yeah,
She can't get
his
nothing.
3 sons, his oldest 3 sons, have control over his estate,
Mm-hmm,
and they're not. She's not
Yes.
getting anything.
It's rough. I think it was another, and it's a new baby mom or a new kid or something like that popped out. Or
But
something.
it's an adult.
Right.
She got
right.
his last name supposedly, but she's like 20.
Some of them from Philadelphia.
They
He's
said
got-
the total went
he's
up
got
to like
3-4 kids
15
from here.
now.
Oh,
Damn.
wow.
Wow,
wow.
yeah.
So
He's
these
got
kids is coming out
he's
the
got
woodwork.
3-4 kids from here. Yeah, and they
wow.
had a visual for him when he passed away. That's a whole.
It's,
all right,
it's
all right.
a lot. It's
So
a lot.
all right, so that happened. So that's the influence of it or whatnot. The influence part. So let's go back to this event that you were just talking about because that kind of threw me for a loop. So you said what happened now?
Mel was robbed and kidnapped at gunpoint, and I think that's when the fire really kicked in for us to, hey, we need to do something. What if something happened to one of us? Things started changing now. Not that I didn't. I always loved them. I just wasn't wanted to get married. I didn't think it made a big deal until something real tragic happened.
Right.
Like, not that if something happened to him, like maybe his parents would have had everything over his estate.
Right.
So now I have to go through his parents for anything for my children.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
right.
like, was it like when whatever happened when that horrible thing happened to y'all? Was it like you were in a hospital and they was asking like Miss Thelma for everything, or like what made you
Just so
say?
happened I worked at Temple, so they called me anyway. But if anything, any serious thing would have happened, they would have called his mom. And I wouldn't have, whatever decision she had to make, she would have made it. It wouldn't have been, they didn't have to ask me anything. Or either they could have blocked me from everything. Because I've seen it. Like, I'm with this man, and people block the person who they live with, who they know they love.
Right.
And they block them from everything.
Right.
So that was my thing.
Right.
I'm
So,
like, okay, let me get myself together.
right.
Like,
so that was your side of the
so
experience.
I could have
then.
some security for me and my children.
Okay.
Oh,
You know?
So Mel, so let me ask you a question.
$100,000 life insurance.
Oh, is that what it is? Yeah.
Oh, he's
Well,
so
at least,
funny.
at least you got that.
It all goes back to the money.
Listen.
Ain't that
But I
some
think
crap?
the
Most of us
decision-making
leave with a
part
bill,
is-
like you know what I'm saying. At least you
That's
had a
true
whip.
too. But I think I
What's
can
that?
I can understand that too, because like you said, you've seen it. You've seen where people come in. I know, because if it's my son, and I probably won't like Donovan's wife anyway, but if something happens to my son and he's not married, that's the first thing I'm doing is bossing
Right.
up. Not to necessarily
Right.
take from you and the kids, but if that's my son though. You know what I mean? Because if something happened to my son, you get married to anybody today or tomorrow, coming from my mother's point of view. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
I think I understand your point of view too. But this is my he's like my husband. We
Yes.
have kids, so why wouldn't I be making the decision?
So Mel, this happened to you. You don't have to go into
Right.
specifics of the situation, whatever. But on the end of now, something that's critical, something that's detrimental, not only to your health but to your legacy, has happened. What pulls you into that place? How did you feel coming out of all this? Like,
Well,
whatever happened,
first-
you ended up in the hospital. So, like,
First of all, Charlene got we always dispute on the dates. I had just proposed to her just before this anyway.
No, you didn't.
She talking about it was afterwards.
It was
but
afterwards.
I knew it was before this.
It was after.
I don't know if it was God or whatever, but I knew I proposed to her before this even happened. It might have been like a couple of months before that.
right.
It was in November,
So-
sir. That happened in October the 4th.
Listen,
Okay.
I
Okay.
was driving a seafood truck and I was down in what's that, Diamonds Row, Jewelers Row,
Yeah,
and I
81,
pulled
right.
over and went in there and just happened to look. I was like, let me just look.
Oh, wow, okay.
And they gave me a good deal. I was like, wow. This
Was
is
it
nice.
Robbins or Steven Singer?
No, Unclaimed Diamonds.
Oh, Unclaimed. There you go. That's the name of the game. Is that
For
still
real.
up there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay, diamonds are still.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
they gave me
okay.
a nice deal. I brought that joint home the same night. It was like, and I'm planning this while I'm driving the truck, like what I'm gonna do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Propose to the Beyonce song. What was that song? Put a
I'm not
ring
good with
on it.
songs.
Put a ring on it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's when
So
it
what
like
did
first
he do? Did
came.
he just put
No, he sent me to the store on a
That
wild
was
goose
like
chase.
when it first came out too.
It
Yeah,
just
yeah.
came out, and Faith was begging for it, and I didn't want. I don't know why I didn't want him to buy Faith that CD. I don't know, but
He was anti Beyonce.
No, because Faith was kept playing it over and over and
Oh, you
over
just didn't
again.
wanna keep hearing it.
So now he sends me to. He was like, "We're gonna drink that night." He was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Come on, go to the store and get some juice." So I'm calling him saying, "This store don't got that juice. This store don't got that juice."
So meanwhile, I'm
he's sending me
planning it
other
out.
different places. So you could finish.
So how you know before you even go? How you know which stores was gonna have the juice and which ones didn't? What you order? What you want? Like the ever fresh pomegranate? Because they ain't never got that shit in the regular stores. You know what I'm
I don't even
saying?
remember
Oh,
what
oh.
kind of
You
juice.
said-
it
you
was.
said- was
I
the
was
juice-
just sitting on a mission. Get
Oh,
some
just
juice or something, yeah. So I can
She
plan
said
it out
she was
with the
going to
kids
different
and
stores
stuff.
or whatnot. Like how you know she wasn't gonna find it on the first store up the street? You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I mean, even
That
rush
was
it back.
probably something like that pineapple juice made by like a certain Spanish person.
I don't even
like
remember
El
what it
Cinco
was.
Paco
You should have sent
pineapple
you
juice.
I just sent to the H Mart. Yeah, like go to H Mart and try to find some shit. You ever been to H Mart before? The Chinese market? What not? You ain't never been in there
The
before?
one
Right,
on
right.
Rising Sun?
It's one on. Is it one on Rising Sun?
What's that Chinese store? You go in there, you don't understand nothing nobody
Yeah,
saying.
exactly. But no, there's one
You
on
walking
it's
around
one
like-
on Cheltenham now though. It's one on Cheltenham going towards. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, it wasn't no big event or no major event.
Oh.
Well, shit. It wasn't no big event or that didn't do it. It was just I put everything in God's hand. It was just God's timing. For, you know what I mean? For us to settle down and chill.
So what happened? So walk me through it. What happened? So how did it go
Man,
once you set
it
everything
was
up?
one of them nights out chilling, drinking and stuff. You know what I mean? And I just grew up in a family that always helped somebody. It was just, you know what I mean? It was just an incident that somebody needed a hot shot, a jump. You know what I mean? It was one of them things with the cable. Yo, give me a jump. You know?
Oh yeah.
And I went to go help him and
Yeah,
they
it's one
stuck
of
the
them.
gun to me and all that. But
I don't understand why, because the car smelled like fish.
Fish.
You was
Well,
the
you said
fish
you drove
man.
a seafood truck.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mel was,
shit.
It
That
was
shit
mighty
was
Mel
fish.
thought you was implying something
That-
else.
It was
hold
mighty
up.
fishy.
Because at first I thought the
We
same
ain't
thing
good,
until I
though.
was like, wait a second. I think
Right.
she's
Fish.
talking about the actual
Truck.
seafood.
Truck.
Like, what is
Yeah, I
It
don't.
was mighty fishy in that
Damn,
truck.
I ain't used no spray and shit before she got out.
Man. Oh,
What in the world?
Good Lord, man.
I thought I had enough
So you-
strawberry air fresheners in my car. And
Yeah.
shit. What the hell?
Goofy. So you get engaged.
Yes.
How long between the engagement and the marriage was this a whole thing?
A year.
No, it
we
happened
might have
quick.
made
A
this
year.
happen quick.
Yeah.
A year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
And
telling you, it happened after that because
Right.
I know it was right. It was around Thanksgiving time,
Mhm.
and then we was married that next year. It
So-
Did y'all
happened
talk
afterwards.
about marriage before then? Like, did y'all have a
No.
conversation
Right.
about like,
Right.
oh, hey, what's going on?
No.
Like,
Nope.
so that's so okay. So that's the next part that I'm getting to then. When y'all had like all these realizations that you're coming to because of this traumatic event that happens and whatnot, when y'all start planning and getting everything together, y'all start having these conversations? Like, listen, this is, you know what I mean? Like as it's happening and as you guys are going, forward with it, and you like, listen, you know what I mean? These are the things that need to be implied. Like certain things that probably go without saying. Shit, me and Shannon talked about it. You know what I'm saying? Me and Shannon talked about it a lot. We talked about the fact that it, not only, having the same last name as the kids and whatnot when it comes down to it, it was also, just not having to deal with the, the rigmarole of being a baby mom and a baby dad and
so I think
dealing
and
with
this
that
is
on the
not our
back end.
episode, so I'll save the bulk of our story for our episode.
Right.
But Keith wanted to move to Philly and I didn't.
Right.
So I like to do this monkey wrench and said I can be your girlfriend in Pittsburgh.
Right.
I didn't think Keith was going to propose to me.
Right.
Because I wanted to stay in Pittsburgh. I didn't want to come here. So I said, oh, let me put this big barrier in the way. You know what I mean? And then, but I think when I had Donovan, like, my mom was a single parent. So I thought, hey, this is easy. Whatever. I wanted a baby. He got pretty good genes. Let's have this baby. Then after I had him,
great genes.
I mean, they're all right.
I'm
My
like-
son is not genes, so he didn't
Got
have any of
genes
his
like-
genes. So I don't even know.
Got jeans
But,
like Levi's. Go
But I
ahead.
realized how
Go
hard
ahead.
being a parent was, and that's the first time I thought about, strangely enough, being like being permanently or together as till death do us or whatever.
Right.
That's the first time I thought about it. I didn't think I was one of those people who's never get married either.
But
Yeah.
remember, I was already a single parent
Right.
anyway when I met him.
Right.
When I met him, my oldest son was 9 years old.
Okay.
Oh,
When
I
I
didn't
met
know
him,
that it was
so-
nine.
Yeah, he was 9.
8. I thought he was 8.
He
but
was
yeah.
8 turning
That
9.
is 38.
Okay.
He's 30. Day is 30. Get ready to be 35.
So
Okay.
So if y'all together 30 years, he could have been that old.
Yeah,
Day
but
was I want to say 8 turning 9.
I don't think we was together for 30 years. I
Oh,
know I
maybe
was
it's
like,
almost
Yeah.
touching.
Yeah,
So it might be like
30,
27,
yeah,
28. Okay.
y'all rounded
Oh,
up.
okay,
Y'all rounded up.
okay. I'm like,
yeah,
that
yeah,
is as old
yeah,
as me.
rounded up. Yeah. Okay. So, but I'm saying, do y'all have those conversations? Like, did y'all talk a lot about it during the plan and whatnot?
I
or
didn't before
Nah.
even before that. You know, I had my kids before we were married.
Right.
Even I never even wanted after dating. I never even wanted no more kids. Nothing. None of that. I didn't want anything.
Right.
And I always was the type like, if he leave me, he taking them kids with him. I ain't getting stuck with
and I
no
always
kids
said that
because
too.
I always
If I said if we break up,
Yes.
I'm taking custody of my kids because that's the way I
right.
was
Yeah.
raised. I always
because
do
I
that.
was like already a single mom. I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
I'm not doing this again.
Right. But
And-
at this stage, y'all had been together for about
know.
15
When
years.
I feel like
Keith, I think we knew we loved each other. It
Yeah.
was just like I said, I'll take everything back to God. It was just all God's timing, man.
Yeah.
And then I just wanted my kids to see like a perfect union.
Right,
like,
a family
a
unit
family
that
thing.
that
Ain't we
function.
just
Right,
mom and
right.
dad, boyfriend, girlfriends.
Right,
and everything,
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But know what messed me up though? I was renting this dude's house,
Right.
Puerto Rican boy,
Uh-huh.
with my whole family.
Yeah.
And his Haitian boy next door to me, like, yo, why is you paying this boy money and you got a family? It knocked me to my knees. That's like, damn.
Yeah,
and
we
right
had
then and there, man,
we had that conversation too. Yeah.
I'm like,
Mhm.
wow, I'm renting from this dude.
Mhm.
Got a whole family living in somebody else's house.
Right.
Then I just went all out, checked my credit. It was like, damn. She's like, you can get a house. I'm like, what?
Right.
Didn't even know.
Yeah.
I'm paying this bull like $1,500 a month.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, a lot of us come to that realization and whatnot, but at the end of the day, it's actually a good thing to to kind of have somebody put you on to things that you weren't
Yeah,
aware of before.
But you know
Right.
what
know
I
I'm
think
saying?
it is. Even though our parents loved us, they didn't teach us certain things from the old school.
Sometimes
So
they
we
couldn't.
just seen stuff and we
Right.
just started. We just picked stuff that we thought was right.
Right.
So and that's how we emulate like our life.
I said that
Yes.
to my I had a therapy session with a person right before this, and that's what I said. She was talking about how, like the ups and downs of life, and I said, you know what, when you're a child, you grow up and you don't see, like, it's like a duck on a pond. You see things going smoothly. You see Christmas, or you see Thanksgiving, or you see your parents
Yeah.
operating a certain kind of way.
Right.
You have no idea what them real conversations is like behind them closed doors.
Absolutely.
You have no idea how people had to like make things happen. I said, so you grow up expecting this life when life is really not even like that for real.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
They don't know. We didn't know that they
Exactly.
struggle.
Yep.
We
If
didn't
I was
know.
to do it all over again with Charlene, I would ask her about. We would have more conversations about parenting
The
skills
look on her
because
face.
our parenting skills is totally different. and
Everybody's
opposite.
is.
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, I ain't saying that's a bad thing. I
Right,
think it's
right.
actually good.
I think it balances
It
that
balances
out.
it out, but
It
it's
has
like,
to.
Balances out.
but certain things, it's like, huh?
Yeah. Dude,
Your
it's,
mom let y'all drink in the house?
Right.
Sure
I'm
did.
like, oh hell no,
Sure
my kids
did.
ain't drinking around me.
My
No.
mother let us drink in the house. On
And-
report
I'm
card
like,
that.
no.
And that's why I was kind of weary about coming to the party yesterday, because like I'm like,
Shannon,
Jesus, even though they're
Shannon,
great.
Shannon.
Yeah.
Faith is 24 years old.
I know how old Faith
Oh, all
is.
right. I
I
just
know
want you to know,
exactly
you know
how
what I'm
old
saying?
Faith
Like,
is.
She's
But
still
no,
scared
I'm
to
not
drink
saying that there
around
was
me.
I know, but-
underage
oh,
drinking.
okay,
I'm not
all
saying
right.
that at all.
Oh, all right.
What I'm saying is that when you look at people like your niece and your nephews,
Right.
and you,
Right.
there's certain, like even dancing. Now she doesn't see me break you down on the dance floor. Like, come on, I was acting like them yesterday.
we've been around them. We've been hanging around
Right.
them for 8 years now. I'm
They
pretty
laugh
sure
at
we
us,
all
Shannon.
in
right,
the
yeah.
environment, but they're
You
not
saw
like
Faith-
around.
us, Shannon.
You ain't saw Faith was looking at y'all? She was like, oh, Uncle Keith, Shannon.
Exactly.
He had
So I
his
think-
he had his head around her forehead.
Yeah,
hitting
that's
doggy
the
style.
front. One hand on frontal. One hand
I ain't
on
even got no
frontal.
damn frontal.
And
What is
she
that?
laughing. Can you laugh in pain? She was like,
One hand
like she's in pain,
This
but she's
man
laughing.
embarrassed me.
frontal.
I was like, look at these.
See, the
guys.
problem is that, like, and we gonna get back to it in a second, but the problem is that when that little thing came out, where she was like one leg up, one hand, arm on neck, one
Right.
arm on frontal, these young people don't know what the fuck she talking about.
Right.
They think it got something to do with something else. No, it's the one hand on front. You pull the rest on the top of the head or the forehead or something like
Uh-huh.
that. Because black women, you can't pull their hair. That's a whole nother thing. You know what I'm saying?
I got braids
you know what I'm
right now. You
saying?
can't pull
You
these.
can't
Right.
go braids either.
Yeah.
You
No,
don't
that's what I
pull my
said.
hair
You can't
at
pull
all.
these.
Right. So it's one hand on frontal. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So in the midst of that time, though, I want to get down to the nitty gritty of just one thing, and then we can move on to something different. At that time, do you remember one key, clear-cut moment when you knew, Mel, that Charlene was the one for you?
Yes,
Okay.
I remember after this happened, I was on the porch,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not just Charlene. It was my kids came in there crying, like
Right.
they just knew I was dead. Like my son was like, "Well, Dad, why you ain't fight back?" I was like, "Son, if I'd have fought back, I probably wouldn't have been here because
Right.
the bull had the gun on me, whatever. You know what I mean?"
Right.
And then it just seemed like I go back to God. I just felt that security with Charlene. Like I knew she had my back. You know what I mean?
Right.
Even though I knew she would love me all that time, but it was just something to like, oh yeah, she the one. You know what I mean? I just knew she had my back regardless of whatever happens.
Yeah.
I knew she was there, and that's what I think.
That's
That's all this God's timing. That's all.
No, absolutely. It's cool that you can pinpoint that moment. What about you, Charlene? Because it's different for all of us.
Yeah, I think I had to let my guard down because I've always been that type to keep a wall up. And sometimes I feel like I do it now, and I
Right.
be like having to, all right, Charlene, you're not there no more.
Right.
You know, and he makes sure I'm straight. It was a point that I was a stay-at-home mom for years,
Right.
and he took care of me, and they always made sure I was all right and I was secure. So, and that's what I was used to because my dad was. I'm a girl, and I had a dad. I was spoiled, and I needed to
Shout
make
out to Mr.
sure.
Chappell.
That's Mr.
Oh,
Gray.
dang,
that's
Mr.
right.
Gray.
Yeah, I'm about to
Get it
say
right.
that's
Oh, well,
yeah.
and Pop Pop.
That's
Shout
it,
out
that's
to the both today.
Yeah,
Shout out to both
look, she
today.
giving out.
I said,
Shout
wait
out
a
to the
minute.
wrong dad.
I
Like,
know.
that's
I'm
a
like,
little
oh,
weird.
Mr.
No,
Gray.
that's-
No,
yeah.
Mr. Pop Pop take care of me too.
Yeah,
You would think
shout out to
Pop Pop make
Pop
sure I'm
and Mr.
straight
Gray.
too.
Right, right. Well, that's
but,
good. That's a good thing.
I
That's a
think
good thing.
once I realized that, hey, I got to let this wall down
Mm-hmm,
because this man loves me, that's when it got better.
Right.
You know, but I mean, I'm a woman and I could still say that every once in a while that thing come, oh, what if this happened? What if that happened? What
Right.
if he get up and just go? What you gonna do? How you sure you could take care of yourself? And I just think that's just how women are made up. Like we just always got that in the back of our head.
I think I'm a little opposite. Like I grew up with a single mother, so I'm way too independent. I'm like listen, you don't gotta take it like you. I mean, you gotta pay your bills and take care of your kids financially, but I don't really need you to take it. I mean, if you left it there no more, I'm gonna be good anyway. So I mean,
We've had this
better
conversation
figure it
before.
out.
We had this
But I know
conversation
I'm gonna
all
be
the time.
good, but it's just different.
Yeah,
It's just different. It's
We've
just
had this
different.
conversation
So
before.
mine
Remember?
is like, I think even if you do leave, so I think on the opposite end, mine is okay, fine. Get up and leave if you want to. I'm gonna be cool anyway. But I think that thinking that somebody's still gonna leave and having that wall up, it's the same for me at times, just on that opposite end where it's like, you know what I mean?
I think that it has to do. My fault. Not to cut you off, Mel. We had this conversation. Believe it or not, like I said before, this spinoff of a podcast is always going to consist of people that we've spoken to and had these type of conversations before. That's why I draft these people in order to come on. So if I say something that we've spoken about before, yes, we've spoken about it before. It's no surprise. We talked about this, and I said this to you too, Charlene. I said, what is it about women? And one thing that I do is, all right, say, okay, I'm a bit of an asshole. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of known in my circle and community of friends.
Aries.
Yeah. It's kind of known. I have an issue with challenging the status quo. I'm just one of those people. I don't just accept certain things. It's just not me. I'm sorry, I can't.
Facts.
Right. Like, I just would love for people to break it down to me. And if I have a quick understanding, I'll say, you know what? I understand. You're right. I get it. The only problem is that I'm not a let it slide type person, especially when shit where I know I'm like, I don't feel like that's right. So when I attribute things and when I say things, I can only go off a lot of experience that I have. So when I talk about women, most of the time I'm talking about black women. And when I say black women, when I say women, I'll be like, listen, a black woman can be with a man for 30, 40 years and still got a bag packed by the door. You know what I'm saying? Just in case some shit go wrong. Woman, you've been with this nigga for longer than you've not been with this nigga. But in your mind, somewhere along the way, you know what I'm saying? You still got this thing in you, like one of these days or whatnot. I think that ever since we had a conversation, I think that in Mind's mind, in the mind side, I think that is also preparation for a lot of times when maybe the man won't be here anymore permanently.
I was just thinking.
You know what I'm saying?
I was thinking that too.
Or it
Right.
might go back to slavery when the man was.
That
you
could
know
be
what I
it
mean?
too. That could be something that's indoctrinated from that.
Right.
But also, I think that because our next door neighbor, we moved in here of March of 2010, Shannon? April. And her husband, we met him maybe twice. And he passed away maybe, I think, in January of 2011. And she lived in that house for 10 years by herself. And she just passed away 2 months
She was
ago.
100.
She was 100 years old.
She made it to 100.
Bless her
Yeah.
Turned
soul.
100 this year, and she passed away.
Right. So
Our direct next door neighbor.
our direct next door neighbor. She was in the house like she lived alone by herself, you know, without him for the last 10 years of her life. You know what I mean? Just completely and utterly by herself. So I think that it's one of those things. And
She had a mean wig. With that wig,
yeah, that thing.
God rest her soul.
Never
That wig,
never went anywhere.
that
or
wig
whatnot.
looked like it had seen its best days.
She
I hope
had
they
her-
put something different on her for the.
It was mad.
And she was a Caucasian woman, so
Right.
It looked like an afro by the time.
No, yeah, it was vicious. But I
Ain't
mean,
have
but
not a curl left by the time she hit 100.
listen, but you know what the thing about it is she kind of kept the wits about her, probably up until the last 2 years where you kind of would see her less and less. And, we went over there. I think I went over there, what was it?
Last Thanksgiving, we tried
No,
to
2
give her
Thanksgivings
food.
ago, not last one.
No, it was last one.
Oh, it was last
That was the
Thanksgiving?
first time we ever tried to offer her food.
And I knocked on the door.
I made her 2 hefty plates.
Yeah, I think that I think believe it or not, I don't know. I think maybe the family kind of would lock her to keep her in there because she was developing onset like dementia and stuff like that.
And nobody
so
lived
she
with
could,
her?
her son
No,
would
she has
come
a
over.
son, but I
Yeah.
think her son has like special needs. Kind of, you'll see him. He don't drive.
Okay.
You know, she's 100. I think he's 70 from what I got
okay.
from our other neighbors.
Damn,
but
is he
has
really
some,
70?
Yeah, he has some challenges. They said, and the neighbor said they had him late in life. He has some challenges, not where you can see that he, has the look of somebody with an intellectual disability,
Right.
but he just, is like odd.
Yeah.
So she thinks he's going to end up selling the house, but I don't.
Yeah, who knows? But I mean, my thing is that because we try to take a plate over to her and stuff like that, and like you just really just always the the kind of let me knock on the door and
Right.
give Miss Goldstein, I think her name was. Yeah, so yeah,
I was hoping we wouldn't say her name.
Yeah, I honestly do not believe anybody named Goldstein is listening to this podcast. You know what I'm saying? But that's just me. That I could be wrong, and if it is, I know you got some money, so holla at me. That was racist, and I shouldn't have said that. But maybe I have to cut that out. I don't know.
That is not the
All right.
opinions
I'm
of
a joke.
Mrs.
Yeah, I'm a
Know-It-All
joke.
or Shea Breeze.
Yeah, I know. I get it. Look, I did it.
I do not condone
I apologize.
racism
I apologize
of any
for that.
kind.
I apologize. Tell me something unique about y'all relationship. Something that you think that you can, like, if it was a crest that had to memorialize or put your name in lights. If it was a marquee about Charlene and Mel and Chappell, what would it say?
Man, I gotta think on that one.
Something unique.
Oh. I always said, can't nobody cook like your mama, but my wife can really throw down. She ain't dumber, but my wife can.
I don't think that's it.
She can
Too far away
cook.
from
Well, that might be hit for him.
But yeah, but I ain't know
was
she
trying
can
to
really
think
cook
of
that
us
good. You know what I mean?
together.
Till later on in life, I was like, damn, she really can. Like,
Shout out to Charlene Spinach.
Like,
that
for
I had
real.
some this morning.
Well, that's actually listen. That might be a good look for. That might be something
I ate it
good.
with a fork.
Cause I ain't gonna what you call it. Don't say nothing, and I ain't gonna hold you. I would don't worry about it. Trust me, it's raw as it gets around here. Then don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying?
ooh, baby, I like it. Roll.
I've said it to my mom, and she gets an attitude or whatnot. But I'm like, my mom ain't even in my top 30 chefs. That I know.
Shit.
She said, I love my mom
I
to
do
death.
not condone
She's
psycho.
not. She's not. So
Mom bashing, right?
when I know,
Well,
when
we don't
I,
really get to taste Keith's mom's cooking.
No,
So
my mom
I had
don't
his mom's
cook.
cooking in about 10, 15 years.
my mom don't cook. Cook that much.
Yeah.
She cooks. She cooks where she can cook. You know what I'm saying? It's just one of them
not
things
certain.
where it's like Shannon, it's years. The shit that I like, the macaroni and cheese, I had to mold it into
You
what it
keep
needs to
saying
be.
this.
No, because it's the
You
truth.
didn't mold anything.
Shannon, when I first met you, your ass putting all Velveeta in the Mac.
I didn't know.
Oh,
All
shit.
I
Velveeta
didn't
Mac.
know.
Huh?
I didn't know.
That's
I needed
it?
some lessons
Is that,
in Steph
that's
Fo's
it?
kitchen.
Just Velveeta?
Dude, with
The
just
first time I
Velveeta
made,
in
I
the
was
Mac.
25. It was my 25th birthday. It was the first time I made macaroni and cheese myself. And yes, I made it with all
All
Velveeta.
Velveeta in
And
the
it was
Mac,
still
Mel.
gone by the end of the
All
cookout.
Velveeta in
It was
the
still
Mac.
on. I had a 6-month-old baby.
Oh,
Like, come
shit.
on, did you bring any recipes?
Listen, but
Did
I
your
knew
mom make any
Oh my
pans?
God.
I knew it wasn't supposed to be all Velveeta in the damn Mac.
Damn. You
Shit.
never watch your mom make
Well, you
macaroni
ain't
and
say
cheese?
nothing. You watched me make it.
No, but then I was like,
At
where's
that
the other
point in time, I
cheese?
hadn't because remember, I was away at
And the
school a
milk?
lot. So when I
okay.
came home for holidays, I was ripping and running the streets, and my mom was making. So when I had Donovan and we
Right.
lived next door to my mom, I would go and help. And then when my mom got sick, I would go and
Yeah.
do this. So
Oh,
I really was
shit.
doing most of
That
the
probably was some
dinners,
nasty
like
ass
Thanksgiving,
shit.
and then like the later years of my mom's
No,
life.
she would just like
So
spice
it's
it up.
funny
like
that you say that
like
because
creamy
that's how I
shells
learned how
and
to
cheese
cook.
and shit.
Because my mom was sick as I was a child, and my grandma would come stay with us,
Right.
and she would teach me how to cook. She used to always say, "You're going to have to learn how to cook because you might have to take care of your dad one day." She always said
What
that
about
to
your
me.
man? Man, take care of your man.
Well, I didn't have a man. I bet not had no man at that
Yeah,
time.
she
I
wasn't
was
worried
a little
about that,
girl. I was a little girl, but it worked out.
But you know what? So here's the funny thing, right? Now, okay. Shannon's from Pittsburgh, and I'm from Philly. I don't think that people from Pittsburgh, I don't think they had the thought process that because, do you know that Pittsburgh is closer to Detroit than it is to Philadelphia, which makes it more of a Midwest place than it is an East Coast
Here we
place.
go with this.
But she never takes that into consideration and whatnot. That's the reason why we have more of a kinship to New York or Boston, or because they're more East Coast as
down
cities.
south a little bit to
Exactly.
Delaware.
Out there, they're a little bit different. So it's not like
In a bad way.
no, it's not a bad thing. It's just like there's a difference. There's a little bit of a cultural difference. So
is.
even when like talking to her mom, like when we, you know what I'm saying, when I first met her mom, whatnot, she made breakfast and came downstairs and we laughing, and I'm like, oh, Miss Steph, what you making with all the grease in the pan? She's like, boy, these pancakes.
No, there was certain things my mom couldn't
I said, Miss,
My mom couldn't make
one of the best-
pancakes. My mom couldn't make cream of wheat.
Yeah.
So there's certain things my mom couldn't
Yeah.
cook.
Oh,
pancakes was one of them. She deep fried these pancakes.
She deep
Breakfast
fried.
wasn't my mom's specialty. She
Call
can
them
make grits.
Call them griddle cakes.
She can make grits and eggs. She can make like basic things, but she can't make the pancakes.
I
don't
said,
know what
Miss
the hell
Steph.
she
I
was
said,
doing.
Miss Steph, you're not supposed to put the grease in the pan to make the pancakes. She's like, well, what am I supposed to put in there? I said, you just supposed to butter it. She like, but it's gonna stick to the pan. I was like, you know what? Let me just make them. And then all of a sudden, it went from that to me making the whole damn breakfast all the time and whatnot.
shit.
So that's kind
Maybe
of how
she
we.
set you up, act like she know how to cook. She
Nah,
just
no. She made everything else. The eggs, the bacon, the sausage, all that was great. It's just them damn pancakes.
fried
wasn't it?
chicken
Oh,
was
the fried
amazing.
chicken. Oh my gosh. Even though it would take an hour and a half because she had like a small fry daddy. You know what I'm saying? So she would take it.
Two,
But
It wouldn't
I
take
mean,
like an hour and
two
a
wings
half.
in
I
it,
don't
two
know.
wings.
It would take a
at a
little
time.
while, but the whole thing was she
wouldn't
would
take
pull
a
out the
while.
crispiest, nicest. Look, that shit like it was from a restaurant. I was
Did
like,
she
how
use
did you?
lard?
I don't know what she
it was
what
regular
was it?
grease
It was
and
regular
salt and
grease.
pepper. I don't know, just her little special magic touch. She
But
ain't no
Some people
Lowry's.
just had that.
or
what-
no nothing.
it's, it's like one thing.
Yeah.
Like I could tell everybody 50 times how to make the spinach dip. That
It
I
ain't
look
gonna
on
turn out right.
that I look on the recipe every time. I was in the store
Get out of here.
with the recipe. Like
Oh, yeah.
wait, I
I
gotta
think
find my
Charlene just don't be
recipe.
wanting to give me the recipe, but it's cool. I made my own way. I found my
I
own way
gave
to
it
make
to
it.
her.
I don't know. You
Shannon
just
be
say
had
right
it.
enough.
Shannon
Google, I
has
say
Shannon thinks
Google.
you keeping something from her
I
from the
think
recipe.
I think she is.
Food Network.
I think she
Food
is.
Network.
But
It's the
I mean,
same thing.
honestly, I think stuff like that what Mel is talking about though, as far as the cooking goes, that is a big thing because I think that after a while, what happened was Shannon wanted to make sure that I enjoyed. That's my
Right.
favorite food in the world, macaroni and cheese. So when she knew that was it, regardless of anything else that she made, like she put me on as stuffed shells. I ain't no black woman made no stuffed
stuffed
shells,
shells with the macaroni.
but them
My mom used to
damn
make 'em
stuff,
all the time.
them damn stuffed shells was hitting, and the lasagna was crazy. I'm sitting up there like, damn, she's a master. We just got to get this mac and cheese right. You know what I'm saying? And once we
It
got
only
that,
took me about 2 times.
it was about
two
four,
holidays.
about four.
Whatever,
But you once you started, because she was testing like, all right, do it look more like you like it now? What not? She's like, I don't really I like mine a little bit
I
more
don't like
creamy
cakey.
than like cakey.
So
I
you like yours creamy.
Yeah, I don't
Right.
like it to where it look like a loaf of mac and cheese on your plate.
Right.
The mac and cheese I didn't taste it yesterday, but the guys from
It was pretty- it was
from the
pretty
Halloween
good.
party. It looked
creamy.
good. It
Yeah,
looked
it
like
looked
a
creamy.
mixture
But
of
it
both.
is,
Like I
yeah.
don't need it to look like Velveeta. Like it don't need a cheese sauce.
Right.
But I can't have like ball head pieces and macaroni either.
Yeah, that's what I do.
like
But
I don't like when it's block of cheese ball head pieces.
No,
No, who
Cheese in
makes
the middle.
that? Don't even look
I don't
sound
know.
right.
That's what keep me trying to get me to
no,
make.
I'm not trying to get you to make that. I was trying to get you to not make the
The kind his mom made.
the crab shells.
Oh shit. Oh,
Sorry, Miss Marcy. Shout out to Miss Marcy. Love you, Grandma. I mean, mother-in-law.
I know, grandma.
She's my kid's grandma.
All right.
Shout out to Miss Marcy.
No, I love my mom. Listen, look, you grow up with the cooking and whatnot, you're gonna get what you get. But at the end of
Yes.
the day, you
Yes.
start to understand that is. I just don't tell her that because I remember one time that I said that and she was pissed. She's like, what you trying to say? I'm like, look, man, I'm like, I mean, you got Shannon. Shannon's my number one. Aunt Linda's like my number 1A, but Aunt Linda's getting a little older, so hers kind of falling off. And then
I can't believe you said that over this air.
that
That was.
I
you might
said
wanna
that.
edit that out. Don't talk about Aunt Linda. You can't say nothing bad
I
about
can't
Aunt
say
Linda.
about Aunt Linda.
You
Aunt
can't say
Linda.
nothing bad about.
Kai,
I'm not even gonna let that.
He ain't gonna kick my ass.
Mrs.
in the head.
Know-it-all does not condone a statement that was just made about Aunt Linda.
Aunt Linda's Mac is.
All right, now we got to get back to the
All right,
Chappells.
I'm
because
sorry,
This
I'm
ain't our
sorry, I'm
episode.
sorry,
They
I'm
sit here
sorry.
like, look,
I'm
I'm
sorry, I'm
tired.
talking-
Y'all
I'm
talking
talking
about
about
y'all. Y'all
food.
should never invited us.
I came in looking sleepy.
I think I'm
and shit.
definitely.
I know, right?
I think I'm definitely gonna take that. I ain't gonna lie.
All
to you.
right, get back.
Take it
Let's
out.
get- let's go.
Listen. What else? 2 things. You already talked about the house situation, but give me give me something. This can be just one thing that you guys feel like that you've accomplished together, besides the kids, that you've accomplished together. You know what I'm saying? And because of each other.
I think we accomplished our financial thing together. Like we complement. We know how to pay our bills the way we decided to pay them. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, before we was just all over the place financially. Like, you pay this bill, I pay this bill. This.
Right.
But now we on the same page financially of handling our bills and
so structure the structure that you guys put into place for. Okay.
Yeah,
it makes it so much easier.
Right.
Especially now that the kids are going.
Yeah.
Because it gives us more, if we do things the right way, it gives us more things that we could do ourselves.
Right. Vacations and
like
weekend trips and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because at one point, man, I had the car payments, the car insurance, the mortgage.
Right.
The gas bill.
He was supposed to
and
have
all she was saying, all she was doing was paying the little $25 water bill and shit.
Water bill never $25.
Whatever.
Yeah,
that was
said the
$25
one.
Well,
I paid
not
what
that
you wanted me
Charlene
to
needs
pay
my
it.
defense, but like she said, she was a stay-at-home mom for so many years. When you get a woman accustomed to a certain lifestyle, you can't come back now talking about, oh, well, you only did this. I raised them kids. I made that dinner. I went grocery shopping. You can't really put a value on what it's like to be a mother.
No, I understand that. I just hate the word accustomed. No, Chris Rock said what.
But
that's what
it
is. That's what
But
it
is.
No, it is.
You know?
But once she went to work, it changed now.
Yeah.
Because our kids are older too now.
Yes.
So
Right.
So, and I think that y'all already kind of ran through this or whatnot, but let's talk about besides the most traumatic of events, though. What would you guys say was the toughest time that you had being married that you've gotten through?
The toughest time being married? When we was at odds about the kids. Like, it would make us, we would be at odds with the kids.
With the kids or about the kids?
About the kids.
Okay.
So I think it put a strain on our marriage. Like, because I didn't agree with him and he didn't agree with me. We always was at each other because we not agreeing. Like, something was off.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to come to...
this is a disciplinary type thing is what you're saying?
Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So if sometimes if he wouldn't let them do something and I wanted them to do something, that became hard. You know, then me and him is at each other. Then now we well, I
like
guess,
when I actually found out my daughter was like smoking weed, and I'm like, get the F out. You gonna disrespect my house like that?
Right.
And she came to me and she's like, how you gonna put your daughter out? If anything, you need to talk to her. And my dad would never put me out. And I'm like, well, that's you and your dad.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So
So my daughter definitely challenged us with that.
Yeah.
But Melvin was a whole different, you know what I mean? Because she bowed down to King Melvin. Her and Melvin.
The, the boys always got the they always got
Melvin
is just different.
It's just different.
Melvin's different. You can't put Melvin with the other two.
Why?
Because Melvin is Melvin.
Why?
I think Melvin.
More like me.
No.
A go-getter.
I mean,
he don't procrastinate.
Melvin just thinks different than them.
Is there a level of independence that goes into that or whatnot?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I see what you're saying.
Melvin is just Melvin.
See, and that's
why
Melvin
each
quit
kid
to bust
is
his
different.
jersey just to go.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Melvin was a hustler.
Just to go
work at my dad's.
Her dad to cut the grass for the whole complex.
Wow. Okay.
At like a young age, like I'm talking like 13 years old. You know what I mean?
He was always about making money.
He was about making $1 or whatnot.
Yeah.
I think
not that Faith is lazy or anything. They just different. She's not more. Faith is more laid back.
She more you.
Yeah, Faith more me.
She need a kick. Like, go.
And see, and that's kind of like because I'm at that point now. You know what I'm saying? Donovan will be out of here in 6 months or so, and it's one of those situations where I worry a lot. Like I know Shannon is kind of more concerned about what's going on in her heart and her feelings because that's her firstborn, her baby is leaving. I'm really worried about him being equipped.
Yes,
because
it's important.
It really is, and I think that to me, personally, it's tough because the things that you're not willing to do now, and the little things that you kind of stutter step with, they go a long way with you when you're by yourself. So, for instance, like I took him driving last year, like before COVID, before COVID came down, and they had to stop, kind of, came off the road, wasn't, doing a whole lot, and we just didn't get a chance to go out like we wanted to. But the whole point is that he's 17, he'll be 18 in January. He has yet to go up there and schedule. I'm like, dude.
But every kid is different. Every kid is. You
I get
can't.
it.
You can't do that. You can't do that because.
But at 17, he should be already. He probably know he should be at a certain level
you
already.
Also only know what you're taught, and I'll say this. And,
right.
I feel like too.
What's the best teacher?
A lot of, and that's my point. Right. A lot of the blame is with certain things over here in the kids.
Right.
It's all shifted on me. You're the dad. How is he going to get a driving book that he doesn't know where to get it from and nobody told him? How do you know? How do you teach him how to study? You want him to study this book. Tell him how you did it. Where you get the information from.
It's very
Bring it
important.
home for him. You have to model this behavior. How is a 17-year-old? Oh, you want to drive? You need to get up and get the book. You need to like Charlene said. All kids is different. If your kid is not equipped, it is both of our faults.
Right.
I think sometimes as a dad, and again we're going to get back to the Chappells, not on us, is that there's sometimes this lack of teaching.
Yes.
It's not that they're just supposed to know.
I think
because
sometimes
he has a lifestyle that he's not a person who's a latchkey kid for the most part.
Yeah.
He has most of the things. He doesn't have to work because he's a student athlete. So he's only going to get his lessons from two places: the people he hang out with, school, or from us.
Right.
So if he has no lessons, then he's not getting taught.
Right. No, you're absolutely right about that, and I agree with that.
It's the same thing with finances. Like I said, back in the day, our parents ain't teach us how to go get no mortgage, how to save, gotta get a bank account. We had to learn that stuff basically on our own.
Yeah.
So, and it's the same way with our kids. If we don't teach them, they don't know.
And it's
They
crazy.
don't know.
I just think that with us, because we're in a position like I grew up without a dad. You know what I'm saying? So by my dad not being around, that was one parent. So everything that I know of, any experience that I got was outside of whatever she was able to teach me.
Right.
When we start talking about things like finances and stuff like that, she's talking. I can't concentrate. Jesus Christ.
No, because the dog is barking like
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah, I know.
We piggyback on what Charlene said.
Yeah.
With our parents teaching us stuff, like I remember as a kid, it's funny now that I look back at it, like when the phone had ring and it was a bill collector, what your parents told you?
I ain't home.
Tell them I ain't home.
I ain't home, yeah.
And that stuck with me for a long time too.
Yeah.
And I stopped. I wasn't paying my bills on time because of that.
Right.
I was ducking the bill collectors because of that. Tell them I ain't home. That's the bill collector.
Right.
And they already knew it was. They lying because it's a kid answer the phone. My mom not home.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just, I mean, like I said,
that was like.
But then also,
And
it's
every
hard.
kid is different.
Right, and every kid is different. It's hard because of the simple fact that I really, really forget that sometimes when you are in a position of having to be dependent, you know what I'm saying? Because the guidance comes from whatever way that you can take it. I'm a different person than he is, but I'm looking for him to have that little bit of drive in order to do something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that's the only thing about it, because I'm thinking like, dude, you're going to be leaving, and like we was up at college, and dude that's 2 years older than him, is a sophomore on the football team. I mean, this kid might be 20 years old, 19, 20 years old. And he's asking him, he's like, y'all got any questions? I mean, and all these kids got the same laid back, they don't project their voice or whatnot. And he's one of them kids too. He's just older, just a little bit more experienced or whatnot. And they like, nah, whatnot. I'm like, well, like, damn, y'all ain't got no question. I asked the whole group.
But
I'm
you
like,
gotta
y'all ain't got
prep him. You gotta say, hey, listen,
that's the thing.
we're in this car. We're on our way
you
to this
ever-
college visit. You're going to stand out if you ask questions. You're going to stand out.
No,
if you
that's
speak
not what
up.
I'm talking. That wasn't what I'm talking about.
I'm saying, but that's my point. As a parent, you prep your kid.
But
You know
my
what I mean?
my thing is that now I'm talking more along the line of just the thought process that goes on with the way that the kids work.
Because
in the
But
generation.
when you
you
were
will
16 or
allow-
17, you would have had questions, right?
Questions.
Right.
Yeah,
But
at
again,
a
he's
heartbeat.
had more responsibility than my son because his mother was a single mother and Keith was the
I
only
think it's
child for
different.
10 years. So he's had to grow
It's
up.
different.
You had to
Right.
get the, hey, listen, don't let nobody in this house when you get on this bus,
Right,
go do
right,
this, go
right,
do that.
right, right.
Make sure you do this,
Yep.
make sure, because that was about survival. You had to have those lessons. So to think that a kid who's not raised in survival is going to have that killer
That's true.
instinct to
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, you're
They're
right.
not, because I mean, what I have never had to ask you, I never been interviewed for, I had to get a job. Interviewed for what?
But that's the whole thing.
That's the whole
It
thing.
wa-
You want your kids to have a better life than you have.
Yeah,
You know what I
but-
mean? So,
but-
but now you got to teach them the hard knock
Exactly.
life, like the survival move.
That's
Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and stuff.
He was barking up Steve.
The situation, it kind of reverberates more and more through the whole generation, and it just because it wasn't just my kid. It was 6 other kids that was in our group walking around, and I looked, and they with they dads and moms, and I turn around, and you know what I mean, and with they homies, and I look back.
Patience. I'm sorry.
Patience. Oh, shit.
Half of these players,
Right.
dad is only in their life probably for the football. You know what I'm saying?
I
They
mean,
not there
yeah.
every day.
Right.
They not there doing the work. They might not even come from 2-family homes. Most of them, okay, my son get ready to go to college for football. I'm going to take him. This is where they meet them at football.
That's a possibility.
They
I
don't
never
meet them in
thought
the
about
house.
it.
Hey, let me show my son how to cook, or let me
Yeah.
show my son how to pay a bill.
Right.
Mom is there for that.
Yeah. And
You
I
know,
never
it's
thought.
different.
And I
Like,
never
I,
thought.
like,
only
I,
thing
I just
was-
wanted to say, I feel like with Melvin grew up like, okay, we got married. Melvin was 8, 9. Then we bought a house, and I think that's when he said, hey, even though he more like
seen
his
the
dad,
structure, the
he's
family
seen the structure, and he's
Right,
seen like,
right.
hey, you got to do this to do this.
Right.
Melvin was buying stuff and putting it down the cellar when he was young, wasn't even using it. So he already had that mindset. That's why I'm saying every kid is different.
Yeah.
Every kid is different. Even if, like Faith, she didn't think to go start no business. She don't, she's like,
'cause
hey,
right.
some people
And
got to
she's older
do
than Melvin.
yes. You got to just handle them different.
Yeah, no, and like I
Every
said, I
kid is
understand.
different.
I just know that because, especially with when you just the positions that, especially I mean, your nephew and your son, he played football and stuff like that. It's just one of those things. These kids, they get to college and it's extreme independence. And there's just certain it's hard to nitpick everything that's going to come their way because certain things I didn't even think about, and that's why I look at the kids. I'm like, damn, you ain't got no questions.
But I think
you got it.
So you prepare your son the way to think that a kid is just going to get it.
I'm not saying that. I'm not. That's not what I'm saying.
No, I'm just saying that I think a lot of times we put the blame on the kid when I used to do family therapy. You could see well off why this kid is not prepared.
No,
Or
absolutely.
why this kid didn't do
Right.
something. But meanwhile, the parent is doing exactly that. You need to do this. You need to do that. You need to do. You need to. Meanwhile, you ain't taught this kid how to do anything.
Right,
But
right.
now these expectations.
Can I just say this?
But he probably
also,
show by
if they-
example, too, though.
Some
Right.
people are in a one-family household, like you said, your mom. So some people, that brother or sister is raising each other. So mom is trying to work to keep a roof over these kids' heads.
Absolutely,
Because
yeah.
dad ain't doing nothing at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
So it's just different dynamics.
But it's
everything.
also
it's hard.
It's
hard.
also tough. It's also tough to go through every scenario, and that's what I've been trying to say the whole time is that you can talk, you can teach, you can tell them what they need to do at certain passes when the opportunity arises. Because nobody walks around thinking of every scenario. I didn't think that I had to think about the way that he was going to get money to do laundry. I didn't think about what it's going to take for him to get across campus. For him, does he have the understanding that it takes? Those are the things that worry me, and I can't plan in my mind.
You can say, hey, this is what my college experience is like. This is what I knew. These are I've been thinking about some things. This is what you can be concerned about. No, you can't plan on what if this happens and that.
Right,
no,
that's what I mean.
The basics, yes, you can.
But you have to face every obstacle as it comes.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
When they go to
Yeah,
school
you have
for
to
that
face every.
football stuff,
You have to.
though,
I wasn't
they
thinking about
cater
laundry.
stuff.
I'm not. I told him. Only thing I told him about laundry was like with me when I got to school. I told him that I knew like I would make sure that I tried to I tried to keep a little budget for laundry. The washing machine wasn't nothing but which I think I spent probably like $3-4 a week in laundry. You know what I'm saying? But you still had to pay for laundry. Up there, they got these thing called we went to visit Cooktown. They got something called Bear Bucks, and he's like I don't know what the Bear Bucks is. I said, well, it's for everything else that you have to do. And he was like, well, how often do I have to do laundry? These are the things I'm not always thinking about. Like nobody is always thinking about something like laundry. You have to each step of the way, I'm like, all right, I'm letting you know or whatnot. But there might be something that's overlooked. So therefore, I'm like, all right, that's the type of thing that, and I think it probably worries every parent where you're thinking like, all right, there might be something that I can't let you know about right now because it's not at the forefront of my mind.
Right,
But
right.
guess
You know what I'm
what?
saying?
Can I just
So-
say one thing? When they go away, especially these boys, the
You gotta
things
make sure
you
they
think that
prepared.
they don't know,
That's true too. That's true too.
they know. They've been watching you the whole time.
Yes,
'Cause,
yeah, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
I could say, my sister always said when Christopher got ready to go to school, she was like, Charlene, he's not prepared. He doesn't do what he's supposed to do in the house. He's
Right,
not gonna,
right.
And he went and he did everything he's supposed to do,
Yeah,
plus
that's true.
more.
Yep.
But you was so worried about what he's not going to do. He was watching. He
Yeah,
can
it's
hear
a
you. And
natural.
if he didn't know, he gonna call home and trust me and ask you.
Yeah, that's true too. And you know what? That's cool. And I definitely don't have a problem with that or whatnot. And I know one thing that I do know.
And make them grow up.
Oh, thank God. This dude, the dude that we was up there with, and I hate that you keep putting it on us because I'm gonna get back to y'all in a second. No.
saying that.
No. So
Let's just switch right now.
all right, no. So the dude that we went to go that was guiding us around on the tour, he's like one of those dudes that, you know what I mean, he got friends in the dorms and he got girls that he talked to in the dorms, so he know they low room code in order to get in they room with the little suites. And the couple rooms we walked into were disgusting. One thing, some girl got into his head upstairs. This little nigga keeps an immaculate room. An immaculate.
It's teenager immaculate.
It is
things is in their place.
Yeah,
He rearranges things like every week. he changes
LED
his
lights
room
all around. It is an
Yeah.
immaculate room. It
That's
smells like
like-
cologne and shit like all the time. Like
You
it's,
need a candle every 5
yeah,
seconds
like
now.
it is what it is. So that's actually a good look. So at least I know he's, you know what I'm saying, he'll take pride in the shit that he got. You know what I mean? Like when he takes his PlayStation 5, which is apparently still gonna be a rare commodity when he get up there. So you know what I mean? He's gonna be able to, hold on to it and protect all that. I want to get to a topic real quick because we just talked about that. We weren't even talking about. We was just talking about children though, and that because that led right into what I mean children. So I ain't even got to ask y'all about children. We just talked about children and whatnot. Y'all should give a shout out to the kids though. Give a shout out to all the kids. No. Give a shout out to your children. Don't clap for them. Give a shout out to your children.
They shine grace.
Uh-huh.
Hi.
You need the whole government.
Yes.
No, all right.
Faith Chappell.
Uh-huh.
My little diva.
Mm-hmm.
Yay. And my king, Melvin. King Mel.
Oh.
You jealous?
MC3 Sports, baby.
That's my boo. They know it though.
The kid, do they have, do?
Yes, they do.
No,
they
they
know.
don't. Do parents have favorite kids?
He don't.
You do.
Sorry, I do.
You do. She do too.
I don't either. I have a favorite son and I have a favorite daughter.
we keep talking about this and we
You
keep
can
saying
have
come
two
to the.
favorite. You can have two.
Yeah, I have a
favorites.
You got
favorite
two.
son and
You
a
got two
favorite
favorites.
daughter.
Yeah, I
Charlene?
got three favorites.
You got three favorites. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Who's
And
your
I got-
Who's your favorite?
All three of them.
Melvin.
Oh man.
All three of them.
I just can't help it. I'm gonna tell the truth. I can't help it. I can't help it. It's just, oh my
Because one
God.
kid just do like, so not that I have a favorite, but
Oh, you don't?
there's just there's kids. Like I was that kid. I think I was my mom's favorite. There's some kids that are just very attentive and like not as selfish and who don't, you know what I mean, who pour into your cup a little bit even though they take way more, but they like don't even kind of ask for
I
money.
agree with that. Your
How you
kids is
doing?
your
Mom,
kids,
how
man.
was your day? I just want to tell you I love you.
Yes. He just called her and said that. I
Yeah.
said, oh.
No,
He
you
said,
want
how
his
was
son
your
bush,
day?
but he knows how to
favorite?
ask.
Do you love one more than the
No,
other?
you
No, I
love
don't
them
think
both
so.
the same. It's just that one is just different.
Sometimes
you like
click with
one more than
I don't know.
everybody
I don't know
else.
about
no,
like.
it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it ain't.
It's
No, it's
just
not.
sometimes there's other you just it's different. It's like friends.
They
you
both
know,
get it.
sometimes you got
No.
friends. It's like, hey, this is my people.
No,
you got
that's
friends
not
like, hey,
friends.
this is
your
like
blood.
my
That's your
people.
blood that you
No.
birthed.
I'm happy. I'm happy to
Faith
announce
and
they
Mel
both
is
get on my
closer.
damn nerves the same.
I still think Faith and Mel is closer.
Nah, I'm close
Yes.
to Melvin too.
No, you close with that girl.
Nah, I'm close
She
with
call
both
and tell
of them.
him everything.
Nah.
Yeah, what is with that? Like
Keith don't like neither one of our
He-
kids.
yeah.
So that's it.
can't
He's
stand
not-
y'all
my
ass
son is-
equally. Like
my
honestly.
daughter is not a daddy's girl,
Yeah, I
and my
kinda believe
son,
that.
my son is definitely
Huh?
a mama's boy.
I kind of believe what
No,
she said.
so you goddamn right. Like both of y'all can get it. This is equal
If
opportunity
there
over
was
here.
a
and whatnot.
class, Keith would have needed to
I'm
take
gonna
it
tell you why.
many
I'm gonna tell
years
you
ago.
why
It's the
because I
Aries.
think
It's the
I
It's
think
the Aries.
because both of them.
We're back
are,
to them.
all right.
We're let's not.
All right.
Yeah. Charlene got to work in the
Go
Your,
morning.
ahead.
kid,
what you said.
your kids are looking to destroy you. I'm just letting you know. That's what they
They're
do.
not
They
destroying
love
me.
you.
They love us.
No, they setting you up so they can put you in that good old
My
home.
kids trust me. Melvin
Mm-hmm.
is not putting me in a home. Trust me.
Lyric gonna put both of us in the home at the same time.
Lyric
Shannon-
put me in the
You
home.
going first.
Shannon ain't even gonna want to go to the damn home. I'm independent, damn
I'm
it.
there.
I don't even live in your state.
Lyric,
We have to put her in a home.
No, Lyric is getting married off soon. She turned 18, so what do we got to worry about that?
Lyric look like she the type that wait for y'all to die with that 40-year business and shit and just go sell it so y'all die.
Oh, wow.
She's selling 40-year-old business and shit.
Up. Looks like they're not going to be eating this. Oh, man. But that's Shannon's favorite, though. So,
It sure is.
all right. So let's talk about the topic real quick. What? Nah, I ain't going to keep y'all too much longer. What the hell is going on with Jada? Do y'all know? Have y'all been following Jada Pinkett Smith?
I'm assuming he's talking
Oh,
about.
Lord.
Have y'all been following the latest
Didn't
thing?
something else just happen?
Something later just happened. I talked about this on a regular podcast, but I want to get y'all opinion on it as a married couple that's been married for a long time. She said, now here's the deal. She said something that her words got misconstrued. She was basically saying, just kind of conveying to Gwyneth Paltrow on a Red Table Talk, talking about the difficulties that sex lives go through during a marriage. And the headline twisted it and put it on Twitter as to say, I find it difficult to have sex with Will at times. So now, because it's Jada, yo, don't laugh. He said, because it's Jada and she's had the entanglement and the game she playing had been a little messy at times, and she just won't shut the hell up. It makes it look as if now she's almost like attacking Will. People are like, Will, hold your head, and then Will he's bringing out a book, and then one of his excerpts from his book saying that he contemplated suicide. So now it's looking like this woman is destroying our favorite actor.
No,
You know what I'm
I think
saying?
they all weird anyway. The whole
I
family.
think
It's
so,
something
too.
wrong.
Yeah,
I've
I
been
think
said
yeah,
something was
it's
wrong with them. The kids. Start with them kids.
So my thing is that, do you think, and here's another, like a question in a question. Do you think that, because to me, I think that her words get twisted a lot. Mm-hmm. Does she like this nigga? Or we had something we was calling the get back. Does she feel a way? I think, can I tell you what I feel? I think that she's mad that her shit got messy and his shit didn't.
But I don't even think that. No. First of all, maybe she is having problems.
Talk to somebody.
Maybe she is having problems sexually. It happens
With who though?
with women.
With women?
Yes.
No,
When
Jada
they-
having sex with women.
No.
Oh,
I'm saying.
I'm like, is she having sex with women?
First
Oh.
she said she finds it difficult
Yeah.
to have sex with him. Do you think
What you
it's
mean,
because
difficult in a bad way or
now
in
it
a
might
good way?
y'all? They just assuming what she meant. They not sure what she meant. They
They
didn't ask her.
They twisted the headline
They
a
didn't
lot
ask
too.
her what she meant. She just said a statement and
Right.
they just took it and ran with it.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe it's not. Maybe it's not him.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's her.
I was thinking that too.
Maybe it's her.
I said that too. Mel,
But
I feel
kinda
like that she
think-
has
I think,
something
though,
inside of
I
her.
kind of think though
What?
she mad because her stuff came out.
That's what I'm saying. I said the
And
same thing.
I think
Well, what's
she
she
I
mad.
benefit
need
out
to-
of it? Shit. What's
I
she getting out
think
of it? What's she benefit out of
they
it?
all-
So it came out. They weird, man. Look at the kids is weird. Like
You know they
the whole
weird.
family weird. I don't
They
know.
weird.
But
They weird.
it's beyond reproach with them now because they're rich as hell and they live the way that they want to live. They
Yeah,
don't put any
problem.
they don't put any boundaries on their weird ass kids.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they've been living a swinger side by side bar
And-
life for the longest. So
And Will's woman didn't come out and say, she said, I'm going to keep that paycheck.
and that's the point.
I'ma
That's
keep
the
my
I don't
mouth
think
shut.
she's mad. I don't think she's mad.
I don't think she's mad either because she's getting paid.
why won't
I
she? Why
think-
won't she shut the hell up?
I don't think it's that. I think it's that people, in my mind, and this is not me, this is just the thought I'm thinking. I haven't thought this thought out. So as my mom used to say, don't talk without speaking, but I mean, talk without thinking, but I'm doing that right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think she has a platform, so she gets caught up in what she say.
Oh,
So like
okay.
you have
I
a
can see that.
platform,
Mm-hmm.
so when you say things, you might not understand what you sound like. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Ah,
That's why
okay.
when I just told you about the Aunt Linda thing, I said no, don't be saying that.
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
somebody could take Keith said you fell off. Now you done fell out with your aunt and everything. Like, it was a whole conversation about cooking and, you know, so I think she has a platform, so she gets caught up.
Okay.
I also think it's a double standard because she's a woman. And if you make a man look like a sucker, that's crazy. But we could play fool, get cheated on, accept extra babies. We can do all, and we're never interviewed or talked about. And the man can say whatever they want to say. Oh, he was on a break. It was a mistake. Nobody ever worries about how stupid the woman is looking. But soon as you make a man, Jada is the hot topic of making a man look stupid, and that's unfair to Will. He know who he married. She know who she married. Why do we even care?
But I think the problem with it is that sometimes if you ain't got nothing, if you ain't got nothing nice, thank you, Charlene.
His side ain't come out. Because trust me, he got some sides and they ain't come out. So
I
need my check.
So at the end of Margot,
I ain't saying nothing. I ain't
done put 3 of my babies through private preschool.
Kelly told me yesterday that Margot Robbie's mother taught Will Smith how to swim. You know who Margot Robbie is? No. Harley Quinn, the girl that plays Harley Quinn in all of the movies.
The Hallmark movies?
No.
The
Suicide Squad movie.
Suicide Squad. The
Batman, Joker's girlfriend.
Blue.
Okay.
Yeah, the Joker's girlfriend. Yeah.
I don't know what else she played.
Yeah, she played in a couple different, but she played Harley Quinn at 3 Suicide Squad. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So her and Will have done 2 movies together. They did the first Suicide Squad together, and they did another movie where he was like a con-man or something like that. And apparently the word in the street was that was his little, his little sidebar biddy or whatnot. Nobody really said nothing, but that was the rumor. Nobody could confirm because you never really saw them together outside of certain areas. But he did spend time in Australia. And he probably was hanging out with her, this, that, and the third, but it was nothing messy. She didn't come out and say anything, blah, blah, blah.
But she's also a star, so why would she?
Well, August Alsina is a star in his own right.
No. August Alsina is not the same.
No, he's not Margot Robbie.
And again, we're also talking about the dynamics between men and women. It's different.
See, before I judge Jada, man, I like to look at people's history first. I don't really know too much about her upbringing, like where she from. Single mom, right?
Well, she's from Baltimore.
Yeah.
No, her kids is
Because she had a little thuggish in her from the beginning, right?
Her mom was a single mom.
Her mom was a single mom.
No, but her mom is on her she had a couple of marriages. Her mother.
Could possibly, yeah.
Yeah, she had a couple of marriages.
Jada always been
and she was on drugs or something.
I think her mom's immortal. I ain't never seen nobody.
Her mom looks good.
Yeah, that's crazy.
She looks good.
But I heard what you said, Mel. Like knowing the backstory, and they kept their stuff real tight for the longest. They've been in that lifestyle since they've been together, and now stuff is just now coming out now.
Did she date Tupac or something like that?
She
says they're friends.
They were friends, and I think that they wanted either one of them wanted to lean towards that direction, and Pac's response was, "I don't think that would be a good idea because I'll fuck your life up." You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not that type of dude that's gonna be down for just one situation. No, I think that one of the problems, and people tease about it, but
probably like those bad boys. She looked like the type that was like drama, whatever.
But at the end of the day, so I went through this whole thing yesterday when on my regular podcast, and I was talking about just from the outside looking in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When your fulfillment, because they live off of, I don't know which one of them started it, where I know for a fact that I can't, you know what I'm saying? I can't be the single hand to make you entirely happy. You know what I'm saying? And they both live off of that creed. You know what I'm saying? To whereas they have to do things, you know what I mean, to fulfill whatever happiness they need.
Right.
She is, you know what I mean? Yeah, basically kind of on that vibe when it comes down to it. She's like I don't, you know what I mean? I can understand. So what happens is this whole thing that's going on is like, I think that when she got caught out there, it put her in a
But that first
position.
one wasn't her fault. He talked.
No, it's
never.
fault.
It's her fault because who she picked. It's her fault because who she picked. Exactly. And I think that's why he's going to be. Because look at Will.
Just saying that.
No, because
You
Will
gotta have your hoe in check. You gotta have your
What's his
dude in
name?
check.
What's the golf man?
Tiger Woods.
She came out. Who looked bad?
No, she didn't come out. He got caught.
You got caught.
This dumbass.
But you still don't gotta say nothing.
You could say no.
Right.
You don't have to give an interview. You don't have to tell your side of the story.
Right. Just play your part. So
like I said before, y'all understand.
You talking about Jada?
Before,
Yeah.
no, I'm talking about when you said
Augustine,
Tiger
he need to
Woods
play his
person.
part.
Oh, August,
Like
okay.
when you think about it, before social media and all this,
Yeah.
everybody was cheating left and right. You just didn't know about it. Martin Luther
Right.
King was a
Yes,
womanizer.
yes.
I don't know about Malcolm X, but probably so.
Malcolm X was a pimp.
Until there was a way to follow up on stuff, everybody, we always talk about my granddad's mistress all the time.
Everybody
who's
granddad
still alive
more
and
than
just turned 90. So the side chicks is winning. Okay.
My grandpa just sent Larry a birthday card.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? His birthday.
But
was
my
last
point
week.
is that
Yeah.
until there was all this exposure,
Right.
this
Yes.
been happening with a bunch of people.
Men do it all the time, but
So
they
you
don't
think
get
she
to say it like
embarrassed?
that.
You think she embarrassed that she got caught?
No, she's not embarrassed. She got caught. She's embarrassed at the fact that he didn't. That's what it is.
Right.
I don't think
the
she
playing
mad. I
field
don't
is
think
no
she
longer
mad
even.
at all.
I think she feels away.
I don't think she feels away.
I do,
I
I
don't.
do.
I don't
No.
think she feels away at all. Again, I
So
think
why-
she has a
why-
platform.
Why don't you? But you don't
So
have to talk about Will all the time.
She
Right.
don't talk
Talk
about
about-
Will all the time.
But why is it that whenever you're saying
Why are you so
something, to
protective of Will? Like
Because
he
it's-
ain't no womanizer ass cheating person.
But wait a minute.
They
no,
both live off this creed. You
No,
know
they
the
gotta-
rumor in Hollywood is that they were slingers and stuff
Right,
like that.
so how is that?
So
He's
you've
not a cheater
already
then. That
introduced
means-
this lifestyle to
that
our. You've
means-
already introduced other people to us. How you gonna get mad?
Then I
that-
can't sit up there and blame him and say he's a
And when-
womanizer cheating
well,
ass
they
dude.
both agreed that they had an open relationship. They
Right,
both
right.
said that.
Yeah.
And that it's been open. And she admitted that she was wrong for who she chose.
you're
So
right.
why are we talking about poor Will?
Because it's not poor Will. It's poor. It's you know why it's poor Will. It's poor Will because
She's a
she
woman
does
and he's a
not
man.
know. She doesn't have to keep talking
Why?
about.
I don't care. It's my life. And it's my platform.
Why she
Okay.
bringing up Will Smith
Well,
and
then she
her
can't
mess
be
that
mad and
she
try to
messed
defend
up?
the shit on Twitter when it
Yeah,
comes
she
back.
messed up. They
but
both
all right,
doing
so-
the same
and
thing.
But
I-
she got-
so
she
you have a
messed up.
podcast,
They both doing
Yeah.
the same
right?
thing.
If you have a podcast and you say something to the effect of, so, you know what I mean? Sex and marriage is XYZ.
Right.
And you say something like, oh, I can definitely see how sex and marriage could get boring.
Right.
And somebody takes that snippet and says, oh, Shannon, y'all sex life, the know-it-all sex life is boring. Listen to this sound clip.
Right.
So
I can
you
understand
just-
that.
So
I get that.
I think that's what's happening to her.
I think I can
She has a
understand that.
platform
You are
and she
absolutely
talks
right. I
about
agree
different
with you.
things,
I agree
and
with
people
you.
take a snippet
I
because
agree
you
with
didn't
that.
Well, let me say
your
this.
sex life
Why
was
they-
boring.
why-
Right, I agree with that.
Why Will Smith name always have to come up in the conversation when it's about Jada getting caught with Augustine? Like, why it just can't be like, all right, I fucked up. I ain't had.
Yeah,
What's his name?
all-
I
I'll see
fucked
it all the
up.
time.
I ain't keep my young boy in place. Why I can't just stay there? Why I gotta be? Well, Will did it.
I
You know
think
what I'm saying?
because it's an
She
account.
did not-
It's an accountability thing, bro.
He
It's an
came on there
accountability
and
thing.
said that he had indiscretions too that didn't come out. So I don't think it's a tit for tat. I think what it was.
She
is,
made it
again,
a tit for tat when she said that.
But it's
Right,
not double.
that's what
No,
I'm
she
saying.
didn't say it. He said it on a Red Table Talk.
He said that he had
He
indiscretion.
said yes.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Because
part.
they
I
started.
didn't hear
They
that
was
part
they
either.
was basically talking saying this August. He found out about me in August like 2-3 years ago. This is not new information.
Right.
We've dealt with this as a unit.
Yeah,
but now
yeah.
August wants to come up and talk about it. So
Yeah.
now we got to resurface and pull all this stuff out.
Yeah, yeah.
So she was. I think she was saying what she said to basically say we had this open situation at one point where you can do what makes you happy. I can do what makes me happy.
Right,
My
right.
stuff is just getting messy. I don't think she's mad. I think again she's probably capitalizing off of it, if anything,
Oh,
because
definitely.
nobody was even into it.
Well,
I mean,
Will,
watching
Will,
Red Table
see,
Talk.
we're the only one that's bothered by it though, because Will is unbothered.
I'm
Will
not
don't give a
bothered by
shit.
any of these
You know what I'm
people.
saying?
So
I'm
why-
not saying
was
we're.
they
I'm just
fake
talking about the
tears?
general public. I'm not saying you. I'm just saying that we are.
But
as
why
the
look
general
like
public.
crying
Will was
because of
crying?
that.
It looked like
He
he was
ain't crying
crying.
like
and
that.
shit.
No, he wasn't. See, and that's another thing. That
They do drugs.
No, that, no.
I'm sorry.
Something ain't right.
That is not an
Yo.
opinion
Don't
forget he's a good
of the
actor.
Mr.
Yo,
Dodd
what the
podcast.
Yo, no,
You
listen.
know he could cry at will and shit.
Yo.
No pun
This is
intended,
not
but
an. I'm sorry.
He's a
they
good
do not
actor.
do
He just
drugs.
started
I'll let
crying out
this
of
all
No,
nowhere.
be
listen.
information.
Wait a minute, y'all.
This is
Time
not-
out. Time
That nigga had
out.
an onion in his
This is
pocket
not
and
the
shit.
opinion of the
Something's not right
Mr.
with
Know It
them.
All presents Till
Yo,
Death
no,
Do Us
sorry.
podcast.
Listen,
He was crying, man.
It's
He
not.
said-
Listen, y'all.
He looked
y'all.
stressed out, is what he looked.
How you stressed out with that much money?
Maybe he ain't got
That's
that much
why-
money.
why?
See, oh wait a minute. That's funny that you say that because that's another thing that I brought up. We was talking about. We was just talking about the way that Jada feels, and that's what I was trying to say earlier. She has all these outlets. She's a creative. She's a mom. She's able to go on vacations, and she can get the side dick if she wants to, and she can buy anything she wants to, and she can call it? What the fuck is your problem?
But you
I
just
think
said
it's
you
internal.
understand
not
where it
happy.
comes from.
She's not happy with herself.
Herself.
That's what it is. It's internal.
And let me tell you something.
Exactly,
That to
nailed
me
that.
also, and we'll save that for another episode. But I think that also, that happy within yourself. No, you need people to be happy. You just do.
Okay.
You,
Of
need,
course.
you don't,
But
you
she
don't
got
marry
people.
a person to be like, hey, great. I'm happy by myself.
She's got
Welcome to
people, though.
But here's my point, though. That she's not happy within herself. She probably is damn happy within herself. She just don't like y'all opinion of what her life is like.
I'm just talking about the fact
And
that
it's
when
her life, she can live it the way she
right,
wants
you're
to.
absolutely. I'm just talking
If
about.
he agreed and she agreed,
I think
why
she's
we
happy
worried?
within herself. Again, I think they're taking sound bites and using it against
You're
her.
absolutely right, but I still
People's
think.
gonna play this will thing to death.
But the thought process is what the thought process is, because at the end of the day, regardless of what
if it was reversed, it would have been one
Reg-
apology and put to sleep.
No, no.
Yes.
But again, because it's a
Yes.
woman, that's why this is still a hot topic.
Yeah.
If it was the other way around, if somebody came on and said, "Oh, me and Will was whatever," people would be like, "Oh, we been knew that. They swing, they
Yes.
swing." It
Right,
wouldn't have been
absolutely.
a big deal.
No, it's not
But
what
because the rabbit got the gun, it's a problem.
See, that's what we talked about, but that's not what I'm talking about. That's not even the portion I'm talking about. She can
now I know
have,
what you're talking about.
she can have all of that. She can have all of that. What I'm talking about is the things, the luxuries, and I'm not
happy
saying it's
within
all about
herself.
money, not all about money, but it's all about the luxuries that she's afforded. Any void that she has going on inside of her, whether it's known or it's
Why
not
does
known.
she gotta have
Just,
a void? Because
just
she
listen, because she's the
cheated?
one that told you she had a void. She's the one that
Why are
said
you
that
so
I'm not.
hyped?
Just listen. She's the one that
Why did
said
the hand come out?
because
Talk
you
about
took-
the hand.
because you cut me
Somebody
off.
talked about the hand yesterday.
because
Who
you're
was it?
because you're
That shit
cutting
get-
me
that
right.
shit getting close to your
Yeah,
neck.
because it's not sad. Because you cut me
Somebody
off. Listen,
said
listen.
that we both talk with our hands when we get like
Because-
irritated.
but
I
you
don't
know,
who
because
said that
listen,
yesterday at the
listen.
party.
We-
Can't remember. I
That's
think
from
was it
being
Corey?
together for
Because
so
well,
long.
you cut me off, and I got a good point. What I'm talking about is that
Let me talk.
regardless of whatever she says, they bring up this thing all the time. They even go, "Hey, ride together, die together, bad marriage for life." There's something that's going on that she's saying that I need to fill the void that you don't fill for me. So then we nitpick.
Then it's him.
Right?
I don't think
Just
she said
listen.
that.
Let me finish. Let
Okay.
me finish.
All right. Why are you getting loud?
We
with us?
start to talk about the little things that you can do just as a person of privilege in order to what you call it. If it's bad sex, if you need more sex, then you're getting it from another motherfucker, and your husband's allowing it. If you need the love of your children are around for you. If you need to go on vacations and take trips, you could do that. If you need to spend money, you can do that. If you need lavish cribs, you could do that. If you need time with your husband, he can show you that time or whatnot. What is it that you're missing? And
Maybe
it's something
Will's not giving it to her
inside
right.
of yourself.
Maybe we're
That's what
not
I'm
giving it
saying.
to her right.
Maybe, and again, there's at different points in our lives as people,
Yeah.
we need different things.
I agree with that.
So, when you talk about Mel and Charlene been together for, almost 30 years,
Mm-hmm.
they're, again, the people that they've become and the things that they've gone through, and they're not the same people they was 28 years ago.
Absolutely.
So then when you sit there and say, oh, well, you have all these things, you have all this, you have all that, you're unhappy with things. You don't know what is going on for this woman. She's at a different point in life right now. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And there's
How old is she?
different
But
stages.
that's the reason.
How old is
Probably
she?
like 46, 47.
She might be old.
She's at a different point in life. Even the transition that we go through as mothers, like my son's about to leave for college. It ain't
Right.
even got to be about you.
Yeah.
That's a void that's going to be missing for me.
But that's the reason why.
And even if I go drink, smoke, shop, sex, or whatever, it's still not going to be there because this is a particular void. So you can't say that. Oh, well, just because you have all these resources, this
And
void
you have
should be.
But you're
everything.
looking. But you're saying that. But see,
Her kids
so
are
but listen, when she said,
different. She can be
when
upset
she
about
says, listen, when she says these, because she comes out and says these things, we're not assuming anything. She says these things on the Red Table Talk. Hey, guess what? I realize that what I'm looking for, that Will is not totally responsible for making me happy. So I have to find things in order to make me happy. And I think that same reason why she fucking with her face, same reason why she
Right.
does some of the things that she does these things in order to help
To
fill
fill a void.
voids.
Man, if I had money, I would fuck with a couple things on
See,
this
but
body
see, and
over
that's
here.
kinda
That ain't
what
got
I'm
nothing
getting-
to do with filling voids.
You think? Trust me. If
don't.
I
that got to do with the fact that I want to wear a
look-
crop top.
yes.
That ain't like, oh my God, and Keith is not fulfilling these voids. Let me go get a tummy tuck.
Let me go.
But it'll always
I
come
don't
back.
love
Yes,
myself. Let me
yes.
get my.
If it's something, but wait, it's not all about you all not loving yourself. It's you not loving something about yourself, and then testing the
I
waters.
don't love getting old. Hell no. If I could pull it up, if I could,
Then
I was
that's-
talking about
then
getting Botox in my forehead
So,
2 days
but
ago.
so that's the
I
reason
don't
why
like
they
taking
come.
pictures and I raise my eyebrows. All this.
I'll tell
It
you-
don't gotta be with a void.
But that's the reason why they
I
come
wouldn't
to
wear
the
glasses.
they come to
I
the
would go
conclusion.
get my eyes done. It's a whole bunch of
Yeah.
stuff I would do.
So
It
that's
told
why
me
they
you don't
come.
love-
We
If anything,
all
I
do.
love
We want to
myself
look good.
more.
We always want to look
Yeah.
good.
That's why they
I'll
come.
take
They
my-
both come to the
I'll
conclusion.
take
that
I'm getting
everything.
some right
Right
here.
Oh my God.
I take
Right
A
here.
little bit right here. I'm getting the chicken chin.
I'm getting this taken
This
out.
I take a lot of things
Yeah,
into
stomach short.
back to spiritual stuff.
Right.
Maybe she missing some spiritual
It could
thing, because
be.
you don't never hear her talking about God or not, or
It
whatever.
could be, Mel. It could be.
Like,
I'm just
weird.
telling you,
Whatever.
there is something
She
that's
must-
missing.
It's
And I
weird.
think no
and-
connection
they're all
with God
weird.
or something.
I know,
like-
and I know what a subliminal. I'm not gonna say a subliminal attack, but I'm because I don't think it's a subliminal attack, but I do understand what it means. That I think sometimes she's loose with the lips or whatnot when it comes to it, because of the simple fact that there might be something there that she really wants to say that she's not able to.
Right.
Why does she got? I really think this is sexist. Why does she again? If this was the reverse, we would not be having this conversation.
What if Will really not making her happy? That making her
What if-
happy just because he
Well,
gave
why
her
don't she just say
everything to
it?
make.
Then divorce
or,
her.
or maybe they.
What
maybe
if they decided that we got too much money and too much
Then that's-
assets to break
then
up?
that's
so,
fine.
but we're going to stay together for our kids. We're going to keep. We're going to
And
keep
then,
our
like
businesses
Shannon
together.
said, it's a platform. It's something
Well,
for her
then
to
make
talk
your
about.
way. Then
Maybe
do
she's
it.
not
then-
attracted to. He not.
Then do that and find your happiness without
no,
finding a way to attack me. Don't attack me.
maybe he's not being attacked. Maybe he doesn't.
Maybe
even
he's
feel
unbothered.
attacked.
Maybe he don't feel attacked. That's
Listen,
just saying.
you
He's
feel more
unbothered.
upset about this than her actual
Because
husband.
I be
So
looking,
it's
I'm
making me
like-
wonder what the void is in you that
No,
we need to talk about.
No.
Because
Because
this is
I'm looking at
you're
Will.
giving me the hand. You're like, I'm trying to talk.
Because
Will
you
is
keep-
a man. He needs to be protected.
Because you
What?
keep cutting me off. Because honestly, I honestly do think, and I do believe that there is something that's going on and whatnot. And a lot of times we do so much in trying to protect our peace that we don't get down to the nitty gritty of a situation. And she's never going to be fully fledged happy. And it ain't got nothing
Guess
to
what?
do with Will.
None of us are.
And then don't even bring me the
None
fuck
of us
up when it
are.
comes to it then.
It don't. But
Because if
again,
I'm doing my part-
you're talking very surfacey about very deep things.
You're right. You're
Just
right.
because you have doesn't make you happy. You know what I mean? There's people out there who want what me and you have, who want what Charlene and Mel have, and don't have no goddamn idea what it takes to be with a
Yes.
person
You are absolutely- yeah.
for 30 years.
But that's
You have no. Oh, I
Yeah.
wish I had that. Do you? Let me. Do you?
Let me tell you.
well, some people
Yes.
lack the capacity. That's
And my
that's-
thing is, just
that's
because
different.
he acts a certain way on screen, he
Oh
might be
my
a whole
God,
different
yes.
That's true
person
too.
in that house.
Then that makes
He
it
could
even
be that.
worse.
Yeah.
Yes.
On both
Winner,
of them, that
winner.
makes them
And
both
maybe
chicken
she
dinner.
feel, like I said, maybe she feels like, hey, I marry him and I'm going to stay committed
Yep.
to my vows.
Yep.
But he might be a whole, just because we see Will Smith all happy.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, how you doing? Jumping out of airplanes.
Yeah.
Happy as can be.
He does that.
Maybe he acts different.
He's doing
at
that,
home.
but see,
agree.
he's doing that shit to fill his voids. He's
No,
jumping out of fucking helicopters and planes
when
and
I
shit
say
like
that,
that.
but when I say that, we all, regardless if you have or not, we all go through different stages.
Absolutely.
We
All
all
right,
go
what's
through
next,
different
Steve?
stages.
I'm tired of Will Smith.
He's
Shit.
tired.
Is toxicity necessary in certain relationships? Oh, nobody want to talk. Nobody's
I
speaking
don't
one
think
time.
this is a question for this couple.
There's certain couples I wouldn't even bring this shit up even a little bit with. So this is the perfect couple.
Some people,
It's the perfect couple
I
for
don't
that
think
shit.
me and him, we not toxic.
Y'all not toxic. No.
No, I don't think we toxic at all.
Is it necessary in certain relationships?
Hell, it need the.
It's
I don't
never
know how to answer that
necessary.
shit.
It's unnecessary.
It is.
I think
Right.
because you throw blows that it's unnecessary. That stuff. How can you be with somebody?
was the question
How can
again?
you say you love
Is
somebody and throw?
toxicity necessary?
throw
Is
that
toxicity
toxic
necessary in a
stuff.
relationship?
Like the
just
the
being
drama
toxic
and,
in itself.
No, I don't got time for that.
Yeah.
I don't got time for that. And if you talk to me that way in front of people, I would be so. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. If he talked to me the way,
So let me ask you a question. But if I'm talking about like a long, it's like because two crackheads can stay together forever.
yeah.
But
That's the most
based off of-
toxic. That's the
based
most
off of-
toxic shit you can get.
That's based off of need and survival, though. So when
Is
you
it?
need
Oh,
each
okay.
other and y'all feeding each other's habit, then of course.
What's the difference in,
You know
in the
what I mean?
toxicity?
But I think there's different toxicity. You got people who's toxic where it's like, where you at? What you doing? Don't be going like it's a jealousy thing.
Yeah,
And
we
so
might go.
for some people, it's a jealousy thing. I need you to feel possessive over me for me to be cared for. So I need the toxicness. It
Right.
makes me feel loved. It makes
It-
me
it'll
feel
stay up.
it makes me feel wanted. It makes me feel loved. So that you got
Yes.
people who are toxic like that.
Right,
you know,
right,
who
right.
need that jealousy and that, you know what I mean? Oh, if he ain't jealous,
Yeah.
he don't really love me. If she,
Right,
right.
if she ain't
Right.
checking for me, then so you got that kind of toxic.
Right,
And
right.
then you got like Bobby and Whitney toxic. That, like you said, the crackhead toxic.
Yeah, yeah.
Where we ain't no good for each other. We ain't planning nothing. We ain't got no goals. We ain't got no future. We ain't got
Bobby
no.
and them had goals, didn't
They was.
they? They was keep this.
I'm not gonna.
Well, they
speak
was
bad
already
about Whitney or
successful. That's
Bobby.
another thing. You know what I
But
mean?
they didn't.
Yeah.
They kind of watched their ship like crash and burn.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what I mean? So
Right.
that's that kind of toxic. So there's so many
Right.
different kinds of toxic.
So is it any of it necessary?
Well, Mel was getting.
When
I'm sorry,
when
Mel,
I
go
hear
ahead.
that word, I just hear negativity also.
Yeah.
So it's like negativity. You don't need that in a relationship. That's what I hear when I hear that
Right.
toxification,
Right.
toxicity. Yeah,
That's
Like,
yeah.
I
out
just
the
hear
worst in each other.
negativity with
Yeah.
that word, and it's like, who wants that in their relationship?
But see, that's what I'm
Like,
saying. So if some like, but that's what I mean by just
I
the,
mean-
just the process of two people still being together for a long, long time, but always bringing that toxic energy wherever they go. Wherever you are, you take you with you everywhere you go. And if you are
Right.
one with your mate, y'all take y'all with y'all everywhere you go. So my thing is that
But it's not necessary. Some couples have just developed patterns. We have a pattern.
I don't.
Right.
Sure, not a toxic pattern.
Right.
Meaning we have
Right.
patterns of how we deal with each other.
Right.
Y'all have a pattern on how y'all govern y'all relationship. So it's everybody has a process and a pattern to how they do things in their relationship.
right.
So
right.
even though it's toxic or it's unhealthy, that's there's
Is
certain
that a good
patterns
word
that
they
people.
just call people toxic? Maybe that's just how they are, right? I don't know.
Well, see, okay,
Because there's certain things that
elaborate
work.
on that. Yeah,
there's certain
go
things
ahead.
that work for toxic
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
It might work for me, and,
And
you
that's
to be
kind
whatever.
that's the
That's
reason
crazy.
why I
Can you
Right.
pass
said,
that toxic to another person relationship? Like,
hell yeah, hell yeah, it's the most contagious shit in the world. It is. It's the most contagious shit in the world because there's not like remember the Toxic Avenger. Remember that the movie when he
I
ever
don't
touch
remember
whenever you
Toxic
touch
Avenger.
somebody they turn
Right,
into whatever
yeah,
he is.
yeah.
That shit is the fucking you know what I'm saying?
Contagious.
COVID is toxic. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly
Right.
what it is. So, but when you said that was a great point that you just made, Charlene. You said maybe it's not them being toxic, maybe it's them being them. Then that means you're a fucking toxic person. You know what I'm saying? Like, so at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? A spade is a spade. But all in all, the reason why I asked if it's necessary, how would the person in the relationship with the other person that they both toxic, how would they function without each other?
oh shit.
How would they function without each other?
Again, it depends on what type of toxic you're talking about, right?
I'm talking about any
They just
toxic.
going.
Just get like
they
any
just probably
toxic.
gonna take it to another relationship and make that relationship
Yeah,
toxic.
yep.
I mean,
They'll just keep passing it on.
Yep.
And
Or you're
that's the
gonna
kind of
run
people.
into somebody.
That's the kind of people they're going to attract.
they
Right.
Toxic people.
Yeah.
They already are.
What about long-term toxicity though? That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean by like two crackheads being together forever. You saying it's about dependency. I think the toxicness is just like walking
I
around
think it-
with one leg and y'all
It
holding each
probably
other up.
grows into that.
They probably get immune
But I
to
also
it.
think so. If I take, and I'm not calling my grandfather toxic, let me just say that. But if I take my grandmother, my grandfather's relationship,
Right.
My grandma, my grandfather didn't live together for as long as I can remember. But my granddad was at the house every day. My granddad provided food for the house. He took my grandmother to work every night.
Right.
He was at all our graduations. He was, you know what I mean?
Right,
He
right.
lived up the way of Miss Hatton, but we're gonna get on that. My family might hate me for telling this story. Well, maybe not. It's out now.
Should I bleep that out?
Um,
Oh, okay.
no,
All right,
don't
no,
bleep
all right.
But my grandmother stayed married to him.
Right,
To my
right.
knowledge, didn't date anybody else. Even though he had a mistress for, oh my God, they got a grown kid together. They got a kid
Right.
that's my aunt and uncle's age.
Right.
So my grandmother knew this and still, you know what I mean? And still stayed in this relationship. They was, she was working nights. They had a process. So for some toxic people, you can't tell them this is toxic because this ain't none of your business, and this is our process. So I can't now that I know about relationship, it was never strange to me that my grandparents didn't live together. But I knew when I got older, okay.
But what
that's-
makes it toxic to you?
not that it's toxic, but to my grandmother to be loyal to a man who was living with another woman who he had a kid with, even though he was fulfilling his duties as a grandfather and as a father,
Right.
that was toxic for her. because you're spending your life with somebody on the account of making sure that everything is that you're he's taken care of. But you never spent your life with another man.
Right.
You never laid with another man.
Wow.
You never you
So
sacrificed
is that
all
actually
of this.
really toxic?
So I don't know if she would have considered it that.
Right.
But I think from my viewpoint, to sacrifice so much of yourself,
Right.
when you know this man is laying with somebody else, he's living with somebody else. This can't remember if they mentioned her in the obituary or not, but I think she came to the funeral.
I can't do that.
She came to my mom's 60th birthday party too. But I think that the dedication that you have to a relationship,
Right.
and like Mel said, is this considered toxic or is this our process? What might be toxic to you,
Or maybe
might
she
not be
just
toxic
was
to
a
another
dumb
person.
Say no.
Let me call the background with podcast over.
But no.
But I
that's-
think you
but that's
also
what I
that
was
that was back in they got married in 1949.
And
Oh,
I think
shit.
I
So you
think
gotta
they
put
thought
that in.
different too once
Yeah,
they got
yeah.
married. Then
It's their wedding ring that I wear around my neck. My grandmother's wedding ring.
Oh, really?
I really think
That's
back
nice.
then they were taught different,
Yep.
and they were
On survival mode.
Because my granddad still showed up, still took my sister to school, still get like my granddad. He slept there when she had but they never acted as a married couple, but they
Right.
never acted like they were separated either. Like
Wow.
it was the strangest thing.
Yeah. But so
Yeah.
I think that answers it for me or whatnot. I think that in some cases it is necessary.
yep.
That's not what we
True.
said.
I don't know. That's what I got out of it. You know what I'm saying?
I got
honestly,
the toxic. You may not understand it because it's not your process.
That's
And
true.
we might be toxic, but in our own way.
Oh,
it might
yeah.
be different.
Oh, definitely.
It might be different.
You ever heard the yucking somebody's yum? Sometimes your good shit, your shit that you feel like is good shit, like our good shit, like 9 out of 10 people might feel like our shit is good shit. But the people that's in the bad shit that we consider might look at our good shit as bad shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
they're like, what the fuck? Like, don't bring
How
that
the
shit
fuck
over
they
here.
dealing with
That's
that
gonna
shit?
fuck
Like-
up our shit. You know what I'm saying? We like
Yeah.
arguing and acting stupid. You know what I'm saying? Y'all being lovey-dovey gonna fuck our shit up. Fuck y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's so
you
that's
have heard people say that.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like people
You like,
have
leave them alone. They'll figure that shit
Yeah.
out.
out.
Exactly. Yup. So
Stay
now,
out of it.
I guess everybody's place and everybody's situation is everybody's
different.
situation.
It's different.
This has been fun. I felt like I told y'all, it wasn't gonna be an interview, but the talk was the talk, and love
Yeah.
having this conversation. We definitely got to have y'all come back do another one of these things and whatnot.
Okay.
What I want y'all to do real quick is to give shout outs, plug if you got business interests, if you got things that's going on. I know Melvin's got his thing going on. You want to plug that
Yeah,
for him?
Charlene.
Need Instagram names or email or something.
Right, something.
How they
If
can
you want to
reach
check
them.
out my son, he makes football apparel.
Uh-huh.
He changed his name to MC3 Factory.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
changed it.
Okay.
Sports Factory. I
Sports
think.
Factory,
Sports
I believe it
Factory,
is.
okay.
And you can reach him on Instagram at Melvin Designs. Or Melvin Designs. And I can't think of his email address right now. I want to say
Well, it's most people do
Yeah.
Instagram, so
Yeah,
or
so
Google
most
them.
do
it's
his
at
IG.
Melvin Designs, and you could get your football apparel there.
Plug your nephew, Mr. Seatbelt.
Oh,
Oh,
Mr.
Mr.
Seatbelts.
Mm-hmm.
Apparel coming soon. Texas A&M, number 7.
What's his name?
Tyreek Chappell.
Tyrese
Chappelle.
Chappelle.
Make
Not
sure you say
Chapel.
Chappelle.
Shout out to
Then I'm
shout
coming
out
out.
to Reek.
I'm actually coming out with my logo called General. What is it?
Generational wealth.
Wealth.
Oh, that's
Oh, okay.
nice.
I'm putting these into works right now.
Okay.
Me and my
Nice.
son.
The Chappelle's got some major things going on.
There you go. Make it
Yeah.
happen. Make it pop. Make it
Yeah.
pop. That's what's up. That's what's up. Anything else? Anything else? You want to give a shout out to the family? Shout out to anybody? You want to talk to anybody? Say hello?
Yeah.
And he's like, nah.
I just want to say thank you for having us.
No. Thank y'all for coming. I really
Yeah,
appreciate
I
it.
really enjoyed
Y'all
myself.
actually showed up on time and shit. You know what I'm
Before
saying?
time.
Yeah, before time. I wasn't even ready. Wasn't I? We up there trying to talk to these
I
people
try
about
to be
these goddamn
prompt.
phones.
I try to be prompt. I try.
Charlene was getting this over and done with. It's still
Yes.
too, it's
Yeah.
too late for her right now.
Exactly.
You
Yes.
said 45 minutes. They've been here for 2 hours.
Yeah,
But-
I
Oh
appreciate
shit, for real?
Yeah, and y'all
it
talking
fly.
about start at something on 7 o'clock. I said I gotta be in the bed.
Well, I was able to
Well,
work.
yeah, she
Wow,
was able
I
to
had
work.
I had to work, so I was able to
Yeah,
double.
but trying to
hope
get
my
the
monitor didn't get on. Hope I get me.
No. I think we got you totally out of the
My
shot and
computer was
whatnot.
in the shot. You know, how people be double zooming in. But anyway.
Yeah. Just remind me, I got to take that one part out.
But nah, Keith, I
Definitely
remember
taking that part out.
I'm proud of you though, Keith. I remember we was up in the Poconos, man. And
Yeah,
you was
man.
Like, you was like, dude, I think I need to go and push forward with this podcast.
Man.
I said, dude,
It's been a
you fucking
2
like to talk. You know everything, so go ahead.
It's been a 2-year process, Mel. It's been a
Yeah.
2-year process and whatnot.
Yeah,
and
I'm
I'm
happy
really,
for you.
I look back and, and every, there's a part of the day, I'm so much in my own head. Part of the day where I'll be feeling like, man, I need to do this, I need to do that. But then, I start to explain, what I do and how I got things set up. I'm like, well, damn, you know what I'm saying? Look at all the blessings and shit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And then
That
I
came
have
your
to
way.
push him in his back or kick him down a set of steps, and then he'll end up doing
Yeah,
it.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
I mean, and it's more to come and whatnot. We definitely going to expand and whatnot. But believe it or not, most
Start
people
making that money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep,
Exactly.
yep. And I just want to say to my husband, I love you.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Absolutely. And my Nicole voice. Absolutely.
Hallelujah. Oh, man. Well, I want to thank the
Love you
Chappells
too.
for coming. Let me give a shout out to the Spotify listeners, Apple Podcast listeners, Google Podcast listeners, Stitcher listeners, SoundCloud listeners, Anchor listeners, Home Team, YouTube and Patreon viewers. Y'all, I said all the other shit earlier, the IG and the Facebook. I don't even feel like doing that right now. But,
Do I get a special guest? Is it-
oh, and to my lovely wife, who made this a very, very interesting episode because apparently she went to argue with me today. That's the name of the game and whatnot. People gonna like this shit though, because they know ain't nothing more entertaining than
We
the
wasn't
inside
arguing. We just had a difference of
We
opinion.
have a difference of opinion.
You was
But
moving
it's
your
cool.
hands. You
Yeah,
started moving
yeah.
your
When we
Yeah,
start
you
doing this and
started.
whatnot, it
The thumb in.
yeah. When the thumb is in,
yeah.
when the thumbs go in and
And
whatnot.
he's raising his voice, he's getting all red. I'm like,
Oh yeah, but then you got to be
All
passionate
right,
about
let's wrap it up.
All
Let's
right,
wrap
thank you. Want to wrap it up? You okay.
Sure. Thank you to all the people that he just mentioned. Remember, this episode is sponsored by Shade Breezes, presents Party on the Run, mobile bartending. We do all events, weddings, bar mitzvahs, funerals, repasses, baby showers. Let me know.
Who the hell is that? They doing mobile bar at the baby
You know
shower?
I helped you pass that chest chase. I need my 6 months
Supposed to
free
get the
drinks.
bar there.
Huh?
Mel, you did quiz me the night
Mobile.
before. You
There be
did
bars
quiz me.
at repasses?
Yeah, mobile bartending.
Thank
Come with all
y'all.
your supplies.
Thank y'all for listening.
I need me a
Thank y'all,
Manhattan real
Chappells.
quick, Shay.
Love y'all to death. And end it like this. This has been episode number 2. Episode number 2 of Till Death Do Us. Love, peace, and soul. Deuces.